Happy Thursday. Welcome to another, hopefully exciting, hopefully eventful, episode of Adventures from Amethil. Melissa is running a tad bit late, so we're in this default view here, which is ugly, but, yeah, it works, so what you gonna do? Did anybody want to do recap tonight?
If I do it, I'll lose out on a point.
You guys are the worst.
Alex.
Alex should do it.
But don't.
Yay! Alex.
It's gonna be the world's shortest, crappiest recap you've ever seen.
Sounds
I
glorious.
mean, if you don't want to do it, I could do it.
It's whatever. Cliff, you make the choice.
Here, we'll do it the fair way. Everybody roll a d20. Highest does recap.
Oh, that fucking dice went all the way out of there. Oh, of course.
Get them 20s out of the way. Yeah.
Okay. So last week we started off with the funeral of the horseman, and
Why did the music just get
We
all
had-
weird?
The horse.
recap music.
Let's try this.
So, Varjog went. He made a campfire, which was also used to get rid of the body. So, we all rested there. We were awoken by this earthquake. We all jumped up, was shocked, and after the earthquake, we're like, okay, we got to go. So everyone did their morning stuff. We went into Durian. They still had guards and elementals at the gates. The first place we went to was the Mages Guild. Brodrock went to explain the situation that happened before with the jackal coming and wrecking shit there. Ukto went and started daydreaming at a window, and Devian went to go get an item looked at and fell asleep. Everything went smooth with the Mages Guild. The head mage there gave us the bounty that he had put on ours and told us to go take it to the queen to get it undone. So we went to the queen's place next. We were stopped at the gates, and everyone that we seen tried to take us in. We kept showing them the paper from the Mages Guild, and they let us through. We talked to the queen for a while. All of us were kind of dozing in and out as we were talking. We ended up telling the queen that we were the heads of the Clevens and that she didn't have to worry about us. We were there to be the front line against the demons that were coming. And Vardrak coaxed some money out of her. So we left, we got the money, and went to go to the stables to see if they can sell us a horse. Did we get a horse from them?
Did we buy horses? I know we still have Sad Horse.
Yeah.
Damn, did we forget?
That was all Vakta doing that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's hope she bought some.
You're muted, Cliff.
Oh, I said orphan horse, not sad horse. And and you guys were like, I guess we don't need to waste the 100 gold. I'm pretty sure that was actually John who said that, like verbatim. I guess we don't need to waste 100 gold now.
Being a dick.
We take it in. Why is this horse always so sad?
Yeah, we adopted a horse. We did a good thing, Cliff. Stop making it sound like a bad thing.
Oh no, I'm not. There's no judgment here. Judgment-free zone.
So, Melissa or Vakta talked to her thief friend that worked there. And when everyone went to bed, Vardrock came to Devian saying, "We need to go feed the life drinker for the day." So we went out of the gates, and there was a bunch of people coming in and out still. We went to some people quite off the path. Behind some trees, they were new to the area. So Vardrock slipped on his ring of invisibility. Devian did his distraction, and Vardrock came and took someone out from behind. And after he did that, he went back invisible, and the woman, the wife, was freaking out. So Devian shot her in the face a few times, and the guards were already on their way at that point. So he was getting ready to move when they started attacking him. The elemental ended up smashing down on Devian, and as he did that, Devian went into his like other dimension, the ethereal plane, and ran and shadow traveled as far as he could. When he came out of that whole trance, he was in the woods somewhere, so he decided just to go to sleep if he wasn't close to the area, which he didn't seem like he was. Vardrock was standing there watching the whole thing, Devian get attacked, and he didn't know if he should come out of his invisibility to help or if he should just stay there. He decided just to stay there and trust that Devian knows what he's doing. So after waiting around a while, the guards just look confused, and they head back inside with the dying girl. Not dead yet, but fucking dying. I'm pretty sure that's going to be an issue. So after the guards go back, Vardrock takes off his ring of invisibility. He walks past the guards, and they don't even take a second look at him. They end up going to sleep. Wake up, they're like, "Is Devian here?" And no. So they just decided to go. On the way back to Clevens, they decided to go visit the goblins, see how they were doing. They decided to get another meal for the life drinker on the way there. So Vakta scouted out a old elf picking flowers. So Vardrock, not wanting to kill him, paid him 10 gold to just take a little bit of his blood, and then ended up taking 20. This old elf is screaming on the floor, crying. He trying to give back the money, just make the pain go away. Ukto tried healing, they did nothing. The life drinker was telling Vardrock, just like, kill him. Like, he's already dead anyways, he's old. And Vardrock's like, no, shut up. And Vakta's just freaking out. After figuring out that they can't do anything, Vakta gives the guy another 20 gold, and he's still crying, but he's holding the gold now. So they're like, all right, let's go.
Business.
They make their way to the goblins' cave, and outside the cave, there's these wooden pikes and makeshift fenced. And some of the pikes near the entrance of the gate have skulls on them. They couldn't make out what kind of skulls they were. So they walk right up to the gate. Vardrock blows his horn, and everything goes silence on the other side. The gate opens, a bunch of goblins have spears pointing at the group, and this ogre with shaman gear on comes out and addresses the group. And that's it.
Thank you, Sin. You do not get an extra player point.
Yeah.
So a couple things. One, I absolutely love that you guys just like you guys came up with the whole like need to go get another meal for the thing. And like the first time you said it, like it didn't click. And I'm like, another meal? Why the hell are they wanting to do that? But like you two just riffed off each other just like perfectly, like, yep. But yeah, I like that. That was great. Was there anything else? I think that you guys didn't decide to go to the Goblin Cave till after the old man, I think it was. Because I think you guys were far enough off the path with the old man that you were like, hey, we should check on our little friends. Which Vakta was super excited to do.
Of course.
and Ukto is in for a treat. Yeah, so with that being said, couple things to get out of the way. A, this is an interactive Dungeons and Dragons stream, so feel free to chat, throw suggestions. There are commands you can do to actually interact. If I could type, that basically you can do things to directly interact with the players, affect the future, give them benefits, or throw hurdles in their way, things like that. Most of them do require donations. They are not expected, but they are appreciated. But just for being here in the chat, you do earn Cliff Coins, which is just my little in-chat currency. And just from being here and watching the stream, you earn these. And you can use those to roll on the Table of Fate, which is a huge table of either 20 positive or 20 negative things that will afflict a character. So if you ever want to use that, you can just do !fate, space, a character's name, and then it will direct that effect to that character. And if you want to see how many coins you have, you can do !coins, and it will tell you how many you have. Secondly, we do other ways of interactions too in the form of community events. And community events are basically if we get 5 new followers, or if we get 5 retweets of tonight's tweet, then we will allow you to make a choice of something that happens. We'll do a big vote, and then based on whatever you guys vote on, it will that's what we'll do. And if you have a Twitter and you want to help with doing the retweets, you can do !retweets, and it'll tell you which one to do. And get this off. How you doing? For the players, anything you guys want to do, feel free to bring it up, and as long as it seems feasible within the current situation, we'll probably allow it. So while we wait for Melissa to get here, what we'll do, kind of a little flashback type section. So Divian is out in the wilderness, on his own, away from the group, and he finally finds his bearings where he's at, and he starts heading towards Clevenskar. What is his main objective? Is it just to get there, or what?
Yeah, right now he's just trying to get there to see if there's any sign of the group heading there too. Yeah, that's it for now.
Okay. And when we looked at it before, you were a couple days journey away. Did you plan on using your belt to travel, or were you just navigating the wilderness the old-fashioned way?
I was planning on using the belt.
Okay. So it is the middle of daytime. It is sunny.
Right.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a percentage die. And to do that, you can just either do /die space 1d100, or you can right click on the d10 and just click on the little percent. $12's not a very good number on a d100.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Close enough.
This is good or bad?
Well, I didn't plan on doing it this way, but
That's a good sign when a GM says that, right?
3, 4, 5, 6. Roll me 6d20.
Oh no.
So about those other characters, Sin.
Roll low, roll low.
So 44. Damn it, Sin, making me do math. So you use the belt and you jump in the shadows, and you're seeing the shadows just whipping by, and you're seeing the foliage, and you're dodging between trees, and you're moving at a super accelerated rate. And you dodge a large oak tree, and as you do, you end up directly in an opening, this little glaive, right into a patch of sunlight.
Ooh.
You have traveled 66% of the way. And I'm going to leave it at that for now. Let me do one more check up here.
Are we not doing a title screen yet, Cliff?
I was hoping that Melissa would be on before I did. Just so that way I can get it all in order and it doesn't do the whole throw everything everywhere type deal.
Makes sense.
But if I have to, I will. Not a big deal. Not like we haven't done it before.
Confused as to what stream I'm watching until it happens.
Don't worry. I'm sure I'll botch it and something will go out of whack and it'll cut off midway through, and then I'll still be here looking stupid expecting it to finish.
All our names are going to be all misordered.
Hey, there she is, so I don't have to even worry about that. Hi, Melissa.
Bye.
She's alive.
Might have died already.
No.
No, don't worry. Divya might have died, not you.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Not a big deal. Getting this in order here. I am definitely not setting things up right now.
Of course not.
I would never do that to you guys.
It's okay. I'm updating Fantasy Grounds so I can, join.
Not a problem. Fire Drop, Devian, Ukto. Hey, everybody's in the right order. So, with that being said, so Divian, you make it 66% of the way, which is like about a little bit more than 2 days worth of traveling when you hit that patch of sunlight. Let's start the episode.
Okay.
Adventures from Amethil.
Look at that, and it's like I knew what I was doing this time, kind of. Except for I need to take this filter off now because it's making Melissa's shadows turn invisible, which is not, that's not how it's intended to be. Okay, here we are, and here you guys are. So, the rest of the party, back at the goblin encampment, and you notice that there's, like, these tents that have been built here, or, like, yurts, large, crude, like, can't think of the word now. No! Like, just wood, scrap woods, and dried grass and leaves and whatnot. Thatching, that's the word I was looking for. Making up the roof. You go up to the gate, you blow the horn, the gates come open, you see 3 goblins pointing their spears at you, and you see this large ogre come out of this big tent-like housing in the middle and say, "So you're the champion they speak of."
Vardrak steps forward. Where is Erx?
He chuckles. He turns around and he walks to this pike that's in front of his tent, and he pulls it out of the ground, and on it you see a severed blue goblin head. Your friend lost the challenge. I am now in command.
Vardrak looks back at Vakta. He killed him. And it's almost like a little sadness in his eyes.
She just kind of nods for a moment and tries to keep her face neutral, and when she looks back up and meets Vardrak's eyes, she says, "Well, you know what we have to do next, right?"
He nods and turns back. He faces the ogre and says, "Did he suffer?"
He died like a warrior would die in combat.
Good. Have you taken care of my goblins?
Have I taken care of them? We are
Yes.
stronger than ever. We are bigger than ever. We are better than ever.
No.
And what of the ladies who were caretaking for the babies?
I have taken care of them as well.
In what way?
They are fully fulfilling their duty of keeping the goblin population up.
Well, I appreciate you making them stronger in my absence. But I'm afraid that I must challenge you now, as these goblins still belong to me. And I came here to share good news about my new position as king and my new queen. But you see, now I can't share this joyous moment with him because of you coming and claiming something that does not belong to you.
So, you understand the tradition of a duel, but do not understand the position that these goblins hold. Something that did not belong to me. He was in charge, I challenged him, I am now in charge.
He steps forward some more. Yes, the challenge has been issued to you. Do you accept?
And if I don't?
Then you have a choice. Either kneel to your king or die.
So you see, if you come in here and threaten me, not only are you going to have to kill me, but you're going to have to kill these goblins that you so covet.
I don't need to kill them.
Oh, but you will. 'Cause I'm enjoying my position here, and I don't plan on relinquishing that power anytime soon.
Your plans and your goals and your threats and all of that does not matter. One way or another, you die today. So, would you like it to be quick and you take the knee now? Or would you like this to be long and drawn out?
Well, if this is the way that you want it. He starts yelling in a language that you don't understand. I need everybody to go ahead and make dex checks for me, please. Or dex saves, rather.
Oh. I'm not used to rolling low with dexterity.
Yeah, what the hell?
That's...
John rolled a fucking 20.
Yeah.
I can't believe Vardrak is dexterous.
He's
in
not
the
happy
zone right
right
now.
now. He hasn't started showing it yet, but he's very pissed.
I need one for Asha.
Oh, fuck. That was my second
Yep.
roll for... Okay, let me do another one, I guess.
So whenever I was gonna hit me, you saved me, right? That's how that works, right,
I don't
Cliff?
even know what's happening. Let me see. Let me find...
Oh, speaking of that, Lissa, for your birthday, I will honor your request and give you one d20 that you can use tonight.
Yes!
If you do not use it tonight, you forfeit it.
I'll use it tonight in something.
Okay.
How do I bring up Asha's token again so I can...
You should be able to just double click on her token.
Oh, on the actual map.
Yep.
Okay, got it. And we need a dex save.
All right. Are you guys looking at your combat window?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Oh! Oh no! Oh no! Watch them all turn red. No! No, they're our friends. They're our friends, Cliff.
I know, right? So as he starts barking out in this language that you guys don't understand, you all of a sudden hear the sound of wood being thrusted through the air very quickly. In Vardrak, you're able to identify that arrows have just been let loose. And as they do, from these 3 towers that are surrounding this area, you're able to dodge out of the way of that. But Ukto, Asha, and Vakta do not notice it coming in time. With you having a double 20 on your dodge attack, safe from like catching everybody's arrows, which is definitely not something that Vardrak would be able to do holding a shield and a sickle. What do you do?
I want to say, no, his first goal is to be able to not only, it's more so to protect them than himself. Does he have an option to prevent them from getting hit with such high rolls?
So they're coming from 3 different directions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it would be feasible if three arrows or 3 archers were shooting all at once with a volley of arrows that you'd be able to block all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So you could choose one of them to not take some of the shots.
Oh, God.
But if you're blocking them from taking it, then you're going to take it.
He would... Yeah, he would secret service Vakta. Sorry, Ukto.
No! I can take it, it's fine!
Cool, I'm nearly dead.
You're a healer.
I can't heal myself. I'm not gonna waste it.
Oh God.
So
That's fine. This is fine.
as you hear the sound of these arrows whizzing, you go to block the arrows that you see coming from in front of you, and in doing so, you get shot from the flanks. But you manage to jump in front of Vakta and save her from taking any of the damage, but you absorb the full amount. And he continues to shout, and as he does, you start hearing the sound of tiny, tiny feet marching. And before you know it, there is a small army of goblin that are surrounding this ogre. And he holds up this staff that has a skull at the end of it. And he screams out to you, "Are you sure this is how you want to do this?"
So, he stands back upright and he's like snapping like arrows out of his sides and everything. Like, so big bad Mr. Ogre can issue a direct challenge to Ertz, but when it comes to fighting me, you want to hide behind all of your little goblin troops.
Why have an army if you don't use it?
However you want to die, coward. So I'm taking you decline my challenge.
Oh, I'm just making sure you're worthy to issue the challenge.
Let's see here. Verdrak's going to start walking towards them, and he is going to. Let's see here. He's going to lay on hands himself. And he just goes, so be it. And he's going to, let's see, everyone that he can see. I believe that's how this works. So he's going to use Channel Divinity Conquering Presence. Let me see what the range is. 30 feet.
Is it a radius or is it a cone?
It says every... you force each creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet.
Okay.
So I'm sure he can see pretty much everyone here.
Yep, that's fair.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I guess if we wanted to be smartasses about it, I don't know if you have a field of vision that could see that wide of a cone, but yeah, why not? Maybe your half dragonborn head has your eyes a little bit offset so you can have a wider peripheral vision.
Oh God.
Whatever. And yeah,
Don't make
we're
fun of me.
going to...
Did you have to give a save to yourself? You failed your own save, just so you know.
Oh, whoops. I didn't have... I forgot to unclick myself after the lay on
You
hands.
scared the shit out of yourself.
Wow.
All but the ogre and 2 goblins failed. The ogre and 2 goblins succeeded. It should automatically remove who failed, so you can go ahead and cast the effect, and it'll put it on everybody who failed the thing.
Okay.
You might want to unselect yourself, though.
Yeah. Let me make sure that... okay, I think it's gone.
Yep, and it's got all the correct ones selected, too.
Okay.
My dad is calling me. I have to take this. I will be back in a minute.
Not a problem.
And then... let's see. Is there a quick way to untarget all these, or no?
Yeah. Did you already do it?
Yeah, I already
Okay, yeah.
cast the effect.
Let me do this for you real quick here. Boop. There you go.
Okay. And then he is going to quicken the spell.
So, is quickening a spell a bonus action?
It doesn't count as an action at all. It's something that sorcerers can do.
Okay.
And then the effect that comes with it is determined by what happens. So the act he's going to use is to make a spell that should normally be a standard action into a bonus action.
Okay.
So he's going to do that, and he is going to target the ogre, and he's going to cast Hold Person. Let's see if this works.
He failed his save.
Okay.
All right. Everybody go ahead and roll initiative.
Why can't I roll high today?
You're saving them. You're saving them
Yeah,
for the good
yep.
rolls.
That's exactly what I'm doing, thanks.
Yep.
You saw through my ruse.
I know. And
Now, Cliff, just a reminder, all the goblins that are frightened within 10 feet do not have a move action, but all those outside of 10 feet are free to run away.
And just so I'm clear on this, if you move past these guys, do they still get to make a attack of opportunity?
I think they can, but it would be a disadvantage.
Okay.
I don't think the frighten effect stops them from attacking. It just makes it difficult for them to hit.
Okay. All right. It is your move to have.
All right. He dramatically flicks off his his dire wolf cloak, and in the same action he's got the life drinker in hand, and he snaps the blade out and just starts running towards this ogre in just this pure rage.
All right. And hold on a second here. Apparently there's a lot of things I have to target. Okay. And this is 11. And 6. Those would be the only two that you actually went out of their melee range. Alright, you're good to do whatever you want to do.
Alright. So, let me see. Hold on. Let me just double check something here. Nah. Okay, we're good. We're going to go Divine Smite. And we're going to combo that
with some cheating shit that I always do because I'm Vardrock.
Exactly.
Yeah, how many buffs do you need? You've got a paragraph under your name.
You need a couple more.
Buffs. Okay, and then let's put on Wrathful Smite. Actually, no, hold on. If I click an effect a second time, does that turn it back off?
No. What are you trying to take off?
Wrathful Smite.
Is that the psychic
So I just
one?
realized that's another concentration. I don't want to remove the one that he's already applied.
Is that the 1d6 psychic damage?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. And he's going to attack with the life drinker.
Okay, and you rolled a 16. Do you plan on going with that attack, or are you going to add anything to it to increase, or right?
Actually, I don't have anything to change the outcome, so everything I'm rolling is going to be as it is.
All right. That is a hit.
Okay. Let's see. Do I have Divine Smite on? I think I put it on. Sure. We'll go for that. So 1, 2, 3.
Is that one of the ones that you have to do call before or no?
No, the basic Divine Smite I can decide after it's determined hit or miss. All the other smites I have to call, and if it misses, I still lose the spell slot.
All right, paint the picture. So you run in there with the scythe in hand, basically unsheathing it, and the blade coming out at the exact same time as you go in for this. What's it look like?
Yeah, he's just running in, and his eyes go black right as the blade is coming out, and he just goes for just a swipe, and like you hear this like kind of primal growl coming out of him as he's just letting his anger out at this ogre.
And the ogre's able to move back slightly, and you catch him like at the collarbone and slice it almost down the width of his torso. And as you do, you see that the neck garment that he was wearing, you cut it right down the necklace portion of it, and you see it just fall to the ground, and you see blood start coming out. And he looks up at you and he smiles, and he begins to chuckle.
All right, that was just the first attack. He's gonna go for another.
Yep. That is a miss.
Okay.
Do you think that Shoshugaba got here by accident? Why did I make him have so much shit? And you see
he
him
can make a save on his paralysis at the end of each of his turns.
Okay. So he, you see him slam that big staff down to the ground that he has, and as he does, you see this like shimmer go over his body, almost like he was covered in oil. And he begins chanting in a tongue that you do not understand. And he like lunges forward with his staff, and he begins to touch you with the tip of this skull. And as he does, you dodge to the side of it.
Quick question: how is he moving or speaking?
He's paralyzed.
Yes.
He hasn't moved. He can move his body still. Does the paralysis just make it so he can't?
According to this, paralyzed creature is incapacitated, can't move or speak. The creature automatically fails strength and dexterity saving throws. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and any attack that hits the creature is a critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet of the creature.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh, that should have been a crit.
That's what I'm looking at right now to see if it was.
Yeah, I think
2d8
roll
plus
20
3d6.
would have automatically not roll 20.
Fantasy grounds.
Fantasy grounds.
Watch it, buddy. Watch
I
it,
was
buddy.
looking at roll 20 for the definition of paralysis.
I would like to apologize on John's behalf to the entire Fantasy Ground community. Okay.
Dang, John.
Whatever.
Then, with that being said, boop boop doop doop doop. He didn't say anything, and he didn't do anything. Let me see if this will automatically roll when I skip this turn. It did not. So, what does he have to roll again?
Wisdom save.
Wisdom? Okay. Oh, no, not on you. He's got to beat, what, 20 it was? He ain't doing it that way. Alright. I need everybody to make a dex save again. And as you're fighting him, you just hear this noise come from your left flank, and you just feel the sting of this arrow as it hits you right below your left armpit. Vardrak. Goblin. So the ones that are within X amount of feet of you can't move. You said, right?
10 feet.
They can still attack you, but they have to do it at disadvantage.
Mm-hmm. Which, if they have their frightened effect, I think is going to automatically roll them at
It
disadvantage.
should, but I'm gonna double check here. It does. Yep. And he hit anyways. Look at him. Where's this guy at? Fuck is this guy at? Did I forget to put one in here? Do you see any goblins disappearing?
No.
Like it should be flickering on and off. No. Okay.
I think Goblin 12 was flickering on and off.
I mean, he was for sure, but did you see him on the board or just in the combat list?
I think just in the combat list.
Okay, so he's not on here. So just for the benefit of the doubt, I'm gonna go ahead and say that he is frightened as well. But he is more than 10 feet away, so he has to attempt to run. Is that what it is?
Yes. Yep.
And then does he still get to do an attack roll? If he runs?
No. Let me see. Hold on, I'm double checking.
The most direct way away from you too, right?
Yeah, I believe he just has to try and move away. Frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight. The creature can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear.
But he can still attack. But it wouldn't make sense if he was running away that he would attack.
Yeah, that's kind of... It doesn't make much sense.
I apparently forgot to put a few of these guys down.
No, you're fine.
No, I want to keep it fair. Alright, everybody go ahead and make a dex save.
Ugh. Okay, I'll take it.
Poor Sin. They all started a war without you here.
I was just coming to check up on my goblins.
I mean, that's what you say. And everybody go ahead and make another one.
The hell?
John is just killing these deck saves today.
I
Yeah,
don't know how.
I'm confused, John. What's going on?
I mean, it's not like it's his perception.
That's
So,
fair.
Vardrak, as you're just enthralled in this combat with this guy, you hear the sound of more arrows volleying through the air, followed by the sound of Ukto and Vakta groaning from it. And you hear Ukto make this groan sound, and then you hear the all too familiar sound of a body hitting the ground.
Oh.
Shit.
It's fine. Damn!
Suicide strike?
What? I've never seen that one before. In the
Oh
year
my
we've
God,
been doing
that's
this shit.
amazing.
Self.
So here we go. So I'm gonna go. Which one is this guy? This guy. So, essentially, this goblin is so frightened of your presence that he tries to like carry himself.
That's good.
Amazing.
That was a smart goblin.
Uh,
That's never gonna come up in Vardrak's conversation later.
Not at all.
Oh no, what am I?
Vakta, you have the ability to make an attack of opportunity. Wait, no. With fear, you don't, do you?
No, what we had decided was, like, if I was giving chase to someone who's frightened, I don't just continuously get attacks of opportunity. The initial one, yes.
I thought there was something about that said, like, if you're forced to move, you can't do it.
That was like with the Warlock's Eldritch Blast push.
Uh-huh.
Like, I couldn't get an attack of opportunity off of something like that.
Okay.
Because they weren't moving of their own free will.
I gotcha. Goblin 6, it just ran past Vakta. Vakta can make an attack of opportunity against.
I don't care about the goblins. We're just taking the big guy down. These are our goblins.
Yeah, she said it.
Hey, no. Melissa said it. Vakta's just like,
Still counts.
no, it doesn't count.
But if Vakta's the one that gets the chance to make the attack of opportunity, not Melissa.
Vakta's letting it go because she knows they're important to Vardrak.
Aww.
Yeah. And you thought she didn't care.
No, we all knew she cared. You're the only one that was trying to believe that lie.
Oh no, I didn't believe it for a second.
Ukto, you fail your first death saving throw.
Oh!
So good.
Hey, Vakta, it's your turn.
I guess.
Ah! Hold on, I'm gonna check to see if I have. I don't think I have any healing potions. I'm pretty sure I'm fresh out. But just in case, I have absolutely none. I have a potion of greater healing. I don't know if that works on dead people, but I'll find out.
It does,
Not
and it
dead.
does the
He's
full
not dead.
effect.
Cool. Then I'm going to use my potion of greater healing. I have no idea how much that heals. In the
Ukto,
slightest.
go ahead and roll 4d4 plus 4. So you could just type in 4 in the modifier, right-click on the d4, and choose 4. It's a lot of 4s.
It is a lot of 4s.
Okay, I guess you're gonna roll it for her. So 16 health you gain back.
Oh, was I supposed to? I'm sorry. I misunderstood.
Oh,
No, it's okay. I was gonna
Yeah.
say you could roll your own. I don't know, like how. You know, some people might get uneasy if someone else is rolling the stuff for them.
No, I'm good. It's all good.
Okay. You are revived with 16 hit points.
My life.
Does Vakta have any bonus actions she wants to do?
no. I'm
Vardrak
good.
yelling, "Get behind cover!"
I mean,
Ukto should.
I mean, I'd love to, but I haven't gotten a turn. I got back, and it was actually no. When I got back from my phone call, it was Vardrak's turn, and it's Vardrak's turn again. Oh wait, no, I was dying. Never mind. I understand what happened. We're good.
Yeah, you had a turn. You just didn't really have a turn. And Vardrak, it is your turn.
All right. He is super focused on this fucking guy. So yeah, he's gonna take another swing. Well, I guess I don't have to cast Divine Smite yet, but let's just go ahead and put it on anyway. And let's see what happens. All right, I'm assuming that's a hit.
You'd be correct.
Whoops.
There should be a crit, right?
That is not.
Does it automatically do that?
Yeah, if he's paralyzed.
Oh
it's
yeah,
an
that is right. He's
auto-
paralyzed. Yeah, so roll the regular attack and see if it does it as a crit.
Okay.
You should know what your regular
I'm
attack
adding
looks
in
like,
the third rank. Should be 1, 2. Yeah, I think I'll roll the rest.
Yeah, it looks like it rolled more than what you clicked on, so I'm assuming that it did a crit. That's a lot of
Okay.
fucking die. 4d8 plus 4, 2d8 plus 3d6, and another 2d8.
All right. And if he's still moving, Vardrak's going to come around for another swing.
He is still moving.
All
Well,
right.
I don't know about moving, but he's still
He's
standing.
still breathing, and therefore it's wrong.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let me put the... Make sure Divine Smite is on. There we go. And he's using his last third rank on this, so 2 extra die. Boom. Oh, didn't you say something special is supposed to happen when he crits with the life cutter?
Have you crit yet?
Well, every hit against this guy is going to be a crit until he's not paralyzed anymore.
Oh, that's kind of cheeky. Yes, there is. I don't know what it is though. So look at your weapon.
I believe it's like...
It heals you.
Yes, temporary hit points. Okay, here we are. When you attack a creature with a magic weapon, roll. Well, you do specifically put on here on a natural 20.
Aha!
So-
Ha ha ha! The GM's not totally dumb.
You cheap bastard.
Okay, so per what's in writing, I'm gonna say no. These do not count.
Okay, that's fair.
Cliff is just loving himself right now.
Right. He's like,
Listen, as long as you guys are having fun, I'm loving myself all the time. Fantasy Ground College, thank you for the 200 biddies. You can you never use anything when you're here, so like do something. Like use one of the things. I don't care what it is, just do one of the things.
like Fancy Grounds walks into a store, just puts money on the counter and leaves.
Yeah, just do one of the things.
Wait, what?
All right, and he's gonna have a nice, exciting turn.
Is
There
that
we
enough
go.
bits for Fantasy Grounds College to DM? Or
I don't think we're gonna go that far. I mean, they have at overall. Well, yeah, overall they have. They've done 7,711 bits.
Is he getting close to me?
What
Is he getting close to me?
is what getting close to you?
Fantasy Ground with their total.
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't even really know how to check overall. You'd have to do another bit to know. I don't know for sure. Is my subscribe button broken? It damn well better not be.
Hold on, stop everything.
Right, yeah, hold on.
okay, I need to resubscribe. That's nope. It still works.
Still works.
8-month anniversary.
Yay. I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to celebrate, everybody make a dex save. Wait, is that how that works? Is that not how that works?
That's not what I wanted to do.
I was.
Whenever I get hit with him using Uncanny Dodge, she'll just give me half the damage. It'll be fine.
Yeah, you can do that. And yours is not an auto fail. I forgot to remove the unconscious effect from you. That's my fault.
Who?
You.
On Ukto.
Ukto auto failed because you were still unconscious, but you weren't it lied.
Hey, I didn't even notice. I'm lacking my glasses.
So apparently it's saying you can't subscribe on mobile. That's weird. I will troubleshoot this when I'm not narrating. Give me 1 second here, guys. Hey. You don't have Prime. App is less intuitive. Let the story go on. Yeah, I will check for you guys here. 10 is one of the ones in range. Hey, how long is this Conquering Presence in effect for, John?
I think it's 1 minute. Let me double check here.
Oh, yeah, no, it says right here. So 9 more rounds.
Yeah, it's only round 2.
Well, I didn't know if it was a round-based thing or what it was. So I just wanted to make sure before I did anything. Oh, geez. Is this the same guy again?
Ooh. Dislocation. Popped his shoulder.
Pull the Vakta.
Is that the same guy?
No, it's not the same guy.
Okay.
Did that last guy die?
No, he didn't die. He just critted on himself. I don't even know what to do for this. Let me just do a note on here that he is at disadvantage.
Vargok's just fighting with this ogre, and all these goblins are taking themselves out.
Yeah, that's how it rolls. That was with the first one.
You're like, stop! I'm trying to help you.
Get this off. Thank you so much for the 500 bits. And 300 more from Fantasy Grounds. So at 500 bits, get this off. You can either do a Wild Magic Surge, or you can give one of the players, except for Divian, a player point. Actually, you know what? You could give Divian one too if you really want to. I'm not gonna. I won't do that. I won't be that guy. And Fantasy Grounds College, again, do something. Go down the list, find something that you like, do that. Anything but the
Fantasy Grounds
gym.
College should help our dear friend Ukto, who is our smallest player who is in dire need of healing.
I think that you should just summon a monster.
Don't listen to him.
If it's a blue dragon, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that would be fine.
It's fine. I can handle that.
Disadvantage. Second attack roll. So one more time here, John. Do they say you have to constantly keep? They have to constantly keep running away from you? Is that what it is?
They just have to move away from the source of their fear, which is Vardrak in this case.
But they have to continuously move away, right?
Yeah, until he's out of sight. So once they're in the cave, they can stop running, but if they peep back out and see him, it's like, oh, lordy, lordy.
All right.
How they became southern all of a sudden.
Uh-huh.
Very happy. Oh, mercy me!
Vargok, what did you do to them?
Hey, gotta show them who's dominant.
Yeah, you do. Everybody go ahead and roll me deck save.
What?
Oh. Well.
Oh, what the fuck are you guys doing that?
Hey, Vakta, did you want to use that that nat 20?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to get hit no more.
Ukto, go ahead and give me
What's
another
up?
d20 roll, please. Vodka, give me another d20 roll too, please.
Hmm.
Doing that.
I was hoping Vakta will roll high enough so she can do some shit and flip Ukto out the way with her.
There we
You
go.
think I could flip Ukto out the way? She
Oh,
makes me like
no.
one-sided.
Well,
No, Ukto!
no, so what's going on here?
Ukto, go ahead and give me another d20, please.
I'm trying.
Okay, you're good. You're
I've
good.
got like 4 d20s just stuck in
Oh,
the chat, and I
right.
don't know what's.
Right click on the right side of all the die and do a range die. All right.
Fancy Grounds, help.
He did. He made it so Ukto does an additional 2 fire damage on all melee attacks.
Okay, but
Oh, good.
I don't do either of those things.
Thank goodness.
But thank you, Fantasy Grounds. I appreciate it.
You guys sound
Very
super
kind.
ungrateful right now. Let me just tell you that.
I'm just thank you.
Shit. So, Vakta, with you making a 20 on this, are you trying to jump in front of the bullet for Ukto?
Knowing how hurt she still is, probably.
Okay.
But like, if you're dead and I'm dead, then
I can take it.
okay. Well,
So,
As your queen.
okay. So, she rolled 2 1s.
Yeah.
it's okay, man.
John, just kill the ogre, okay?
Trying.
You don't sound so sad about it. Oh.
So, for Vakta, did you want to use your uncanny dodge?
Yes.
Okay. What is she doing?
Oh, my heating pad. You fat little brat.
All right, so that would negate 13 points of damage. But you can only do it once per turn. All right, good show, good show, good show. I liked it so much. Let's see it again. Everybody go ahead and give me a deck save.
Ah!
I auto fail, don't I?
No.
Not yet.
No. She jumped in front of the bullet for you.
Oh, but I rolled 2 now, 2 1s.
Yep, and she felt the wrath of a crit.
Oh, well, thank you, Vakta. It's appreciated.
Get out of the way.
I would love to if I get a turn at some point.
I know, right? We're just stuck here like, ah. Hail of arrows.
Oh, why is it doing this?
You hear Vartok, you hear Vakta assisting Ukto and getting her up, and you hear more volleys of arrow, and again you hear the sound of a body hit the ground, and you just hear Ukto, or you hear Vakta scream out for Ukto.
You know,
Again?
I would love to have a turn someday.
Again?
Just want to remind you guys, you do not have to fight every battle.
I didn't do anything.
I didn't say you did. Get this off. Do exclamation point roll 10,000. Where the hell do I even have this thing? I haven't used this one in a while, guys. All right. 4. Okay. This is the guy that Harry carried himself last time. And fucking fumbled again, seriously? They didn't even tell me what it was this time. They were like, listen, just fucking go easy on this one, okay? He's new. A 3. Embarrassed. He has got a negative +2 penalty on himself now.
Oh my god.
Alright. Endergrim, how are you? 8726. 8726. No plus sign. Interesting. And get this off. Which character do you want this to impact?
Oh god, what's happening?
You guys worry too much.
Yeah, no, everything's fine.
Ukto, you succeed your death saving throw.
Yay! I got a turn and did something useful.
You wanted to affect Vardrak. Okay.
Oh fuck.
Vakta, your turn.
Yep. Going through my stuff, and I don't have any more healing potions. That was my only one. I'm gonna move here, target this guy, and see if I can just fire my arrow at him and not hit the goblin in front of him.
Or Vardrak.
Or Vardrak, but but they have taken a turn in combat, but someone's within melee range, so I still get advantage.
Why would you get advantage?
Sneak attack. If there is someone within melee range, or it's either within melee range or within 5 feet of the target. Pretty
Okay.
much same thing.
You know what? He has yet to take a turn if you're targeting the ogre.
He did take a turn. He's the second one to take a turn.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah. So, well... Is 19 a hit?
It is.
Cool. Then...
I like this. Is it a hit thing? That's nice.
That's the way
Yeah.
it should be, though, honestly.
Come on. There we go. Which is... Which is still checking. Yep, still 5. And... Okay.
Nice. So as you hit him, you see his breathing come to a cease, and you see his body topple over. And as it does, you start feeling this shake in the ground, and this burst of magical energy erupts off of him. Every person within 60 feet of Vardrak So that's pretty much everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Wow.
Um,
Yeah.
If you have anything of metal on you, it is automatically encased in leather.
What?
That's so weird.
Encased in leather?
Encased in leather, like basically like it's stuck in a sheath almost.
So does that count for like every arrow tip itself is just encased in leather and everything in my bag is encased in leather?
What if you're wearing metal armor?
That
Yeah,
too.
Bardrog just looks like he's in hide armor now.
That
I
too.
mean,
If
he
you
already
have,
did have dragon skill on top of the plate.
yep, anything that is metal, even rings, earrings. If you have a gold tooth, anything.
Okay.
Dover's
Um,
death curse.
And
Yeah, Devian got fucking piercings and shit. That would be weird.
Yeah.
It's in my mouth.
Oh.
So glad that I don't have any dumb piercings right now.
where's this at? And after this eruption, you see the ogre grab his staff and he brings himself back to his feet. And he lets out this roar as he points his staff at Vardrak. Vardrak, your turn.
Alright, so this guy's got back up. Vardrak's breathing real heavily, but still looks like he's just not wanting to go down, so he's gonna go for another swing on this guy. But we're gonna add a few things here. Boom.
Jesus Christ, I didn't realize where your health was at.
Yeah. That's a thing.
Oh. Ugh.
Yep. So we're gonna hit that and that. And let's see if it hits.
Is there anything you wanted to add to it?
Nope, he's got the 2 smites on that, so that's about it.
That's a hit.
Okay. Then I guess, well, yeah, okay. So just 1. So we have that.
Yep.
Plus that. Is that how that's supposed to work? Yeah.
As you hit him with the first blow, he collapses.
Okay.
You hit him with this blow, and what does this killing blow look like on this guy?
He he's still so pissed. He cuts the guy down at the knees to make him fall back down to his knees, and he's looking him in his eye. He grabs the back of his head, takes the life cutter, puts underneath his chin, and then slowly pushes it up while staring him in the eyes, waiting for the life to just fade from it.
And fade it does. You see his eyes roll back in the back of his head as you continue to push the life cutter through, and you see the tendons and threads of muscles holding his head just snap like rubber bands as his head claps back onto the back of his neck. You just let the body fall. Yeah, either one.
And Vardrak goes, "See, I knew you couldn't evil," and then lets the body fall. And he looks around at the rest of the goblins and he says, I said kneel! And he is going for a just massive intimidate for every goblin that can see him.
Just to give you a general intimidation check.
Alright.
With advantage.
Alright.
Yeah, and everybody that's in this area immediately drops to a knee.
He then turns around and he just starts walking back over to Ukto, his eyes still blackened and just like there's almost no emotion there.
And as you do, you hear this voice in your head. You have proven to be quite a warrior. I have a proposition for you.
And he says in Inferno, I'm listening.
I make it where you don't have to kill every day. Under one exception.
And that is?
If I say you have to kill someone, you kill them.
No. You do not call the shots. I will feed you, but I decide the fate of others.
Make this choice wisely, as this will be my last offer.
And if I don't kill who you say?
Well, then you'll be going against your word now, won't you?
Right. And as I told you before, I'm running this show. You can work together or against me. One is more beneficial to both of us, obviously.
Again, my final offer, take it or leave it.
Then leave it. And he's going to reach down and he's going to cast Cure Wounds on Ukto.
Go lay down. Go.
And as he's like helping her up and like the spell is coming out of his hands, like he blinks and his eyes are back to normal.
Ukto, you have no words to say to that?
She is shaking. She looks terrified, and just like as soon as is Vardruk like kneeling down to heal her, or is he just kind of like, I'm gonna just stand up here and be tall and heal you from up here?
No, he's being very gentle. Like he heals her and then like helps her up in like the same motion, and he's just like pulling arrows out of her.
Both arms around his neck and is just sobbing.
And you'll notice that he is like full of fucking arrows himself, but he's like more concerned with pulling them out of you. And he's, all right, are you gonna be okay now?
She's still like trembling and crying, but kind of nods, and you can feel her nodding like against your neck.
And he's like, it's gonna be okay now. And he pulls back, but then like grabs her hand and starts walking with her back towards the goblins.
When they get toward near to Vakta, she kind of walks over and hugs her as well. Still crying, and through her tears says thank you.
Yeah, Vakta's returning the hug like as tight as she can, which isn't very tight because she doesn't have a lot of strength compared to Ukto.
Plus, she might throw out her shoulder.
Like my giant daughter is basically a cinnamon bowl.
Once everything's settled, I can tell some stories and heal everybody up.
Yes. I'm looking forward to your stories.
She smiles, just like a very genuine, sweet smile, and is like shakily following into the village town encampment.
Yeah. Vakta's gonna like reach up and loop her arm through hers and just be like walk with her, but you know.
Like somebody who sprained their ankle. Yeah.
Hey.
Vardrak's going to look at the rest of the goblins and says, "Who was Urx's second in command?"
And everybody is just kind of looking at each other.
Well, the rest of you go in and gather every one of your numbers, bring them out here. We need to talk. And don't keep me waiting.
And like everybody is like rushing into the cave like at the same time. There's like a congestion at the caves. They're like pushing each other to get in first.
Vardrak's going to turn around and he's going to check to see if there's any arrows still stuck in Vakta.
I think I'm fine. Oh, I guess there would be 1 or 2.
Or 3.
Or 3.
He's going to start like pulling those out.
She's gonna like bat out his hands and like, look at you! I take care of you! I'm fine!
It's not bad. And you can tell it's bad.
Ukto pulls out the medieval equivalent of a first aid kit and is like, "Here, let me tend to that." And
thank you.
Gently takes like little pieces of gauze, wraps them around where the arrow went in, and slowly pulls it out while pushing the gauze into the wound so it doesn't just like immediately start bleeding again, and sits there and meticulously does this with every single one of the arrows that is stuck in Vardrak. Do you want me to roll a medicine check for that?
No, you're good.
Okay, cool.
So while you're doing that,
That's fine,
while you're doing that,
you drop him.
the goblins are slowly pouring out of the cave, and you're seeing that there's a mix of other blue-skinned goblins, green-skinned goblins. There's children, little baby goblin, and by the time that everybody's out, there's 50, 60 goblins standing in front of you all around these tents. And you're... Okay.
Vardrak's going to step away from Ukto's treatment, and he's just going to start basically pacing back and forth in front of the line of goblins. Says, "After all I've done for you, I've taken care of you, I've looked out for you, I've spared your lives. You turn on me the moment I leave? Who was the first to kneel to this pathetic ogre?"
And again, everybody's just looking at each other.
Well, since nobody wants to admit who was the first coward, I'm going to choose someone at random to take the penance of the rest of your sins. So, does anybody want to speak up before I do?
And everybody just starts like, him, and like everybody's pointing at everybody else.
Okay. So while they're doing this, I'll tell you what I want him to do,
Okay.
and you tell me how you want this to play out.
Okay.
While they're arguing back and forth, he wants to take one, just grab a goblin by the head and just start slamming his head into the ground until there's nothing but mush.
Ah!
Ukto's gonna intervene at this point. You realize not everyone is going to be as noble and forthcoming and willing to step up to people as you.
Are you saying this before or after he starts doing this?
Like, as soon as he says, like, I'm gonna pick a rando, and they start freaking out, she, like, steps up and is like, excuse me, though. How about you don't?
He looks back at her and says, I'll be finished in just a moment.
How about no? How about you've already proven yourself to be intimidating and terrifying. Look at how they're scampering. They're like ants that just got hot water poured down into their little nest. You've already proven that you can beat any of them into a pulp. Why make yourself an enemy by sacrificing one of their own when you've already beaten someone into a fine ground moosh?
I see your point. And then he's gonna turn and grab the goblin's head and start slamming it.
Oh my god!
I fucking seen that coming.
Yeah, I figured.
Give me a D20.
Oh my god!
Give me 20. Give me 20 D8s.
Oh shit!
Oh my god!
You could do it in 2 sets of 10 if you want. I don't know if it'll let you do 20.
Oh my god!
Oh, it does let you do 20. Just right click on that D8 and go to 20. There we go. Yeah. So by the time you're done, this goblin's face is just tomato paste.
Then he turns holding up this lifeless body and he's going to use booming voice. And he says, do you see what I will do to you if you ever cross me again?
And it's just silence right now.
Now, the next time someone comes here trying to claim what is mine, you better fight with every breath that you have to make sure that that does not happen. And then he just tosses the body towards the group. Am I in any way unclear?
And again, it's still just silence. Everybody's just staring at you with wide eyes.
And he's like pulling his armor, just the top part of the cuirass off his chest and then like exposing his chest, and like on his back, like Vakta would have seen this before, but no one else would have. Like the words of his paladin oath are burned into his back, and they're just like on fire. And he says, "Does anyone?" Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
He says, "Does anyone want to challenge me as the conqueror of this village?"
Silence still. Everybody's just like...
Now, where are the 3 women that I brought here to raise your children?
And everybody's like looking at each other.
Do you mean Helga?
There was 3 of them.
There is only Helga.
Fine, where is she?
And he begins to walk into the cave, like ushering you through. And as you guys start walking through, you see the crowd just like split. making way for you guys to walk in. So as you're walking in, you're seeing that there is like piles of rock and dirt, like someone has been doing excavating. And as he takes you through to the different areas, I'm using Vardrak as the marker here, you notice that the place has been definitely changed. It seems to be in a better state. It's not in such disarray. When you walk through the area that used to be like the mess hall, it looks like a proper, albeit dirty, but like there are actual tables and things set up. And the throne is still in the end of the room that once held Zer's body. And he takes you over into the breeding chambers. And in the corner of this room, you see this creature. And it is just, it looks like almost like a giant larvae. I need you guys to give me perception rolls.
I don't know if I want to perceive this.
Me
Right?
neither, but I know that I will because of my stupid armor. Love my armor every other moment of the day.
Yeah,
Oh, hey, I rolled low.
you get to see, not only see, but smell everything.
Everything.
So
Oh boy.
For the record, everybody is smelling everything. A goblin cave definitely has a certain pungent bitterness to it that smells like body odor and feces. What Ukto and Vardrak see is this creature appears to be an amalgamation of the 3 women that you brought in.
Oh, dear.
Warped into some sick aberration of a creature that looks like if you took 3 clay figurines of a woman and just squeezed them at the torso. You see that there are 3 different heads, but they're kind of just like globulated together, and there's patches of hair, and it doesn't really talk. It's more of like a noise that's coming out of it.
Oh, God.
I'm making a constitution save to see if I puke.
Do you puke?
I don't know. Cliff, what a 15.
15 is, 75% passing. So
I'm
I'd
at
say,
least gagging.
yeah, I would say you're probably
I'm
gagging.
highly uncomfortable.
And the goblin's like, this is Helga.
And Vardrak goes, who did this?
Shoshugaba.
You mean the ogre?
Yes, Shoshugaba. He made her a worthy producer of goblin kin.
And Vardrak turns and looks at Vakta and Ukto like, just like reassurance, I guess, is in his eyes. Like, what the fuck?
Vakto looks enraged, like just absolutely livid, but at the same time, like she's trying not to gag. She's just
In Draconic, do they speak Draconic?
No.
Okay, good. I think death is the most merciful option.
what? I don't understand you.
Vardrak repeats what she said, but in Infernal.
Vakta just kind of nods, like, yeah.
Well, by order of the queen, this must die then. And then he walks over.
Why me?
Because I ain't shit.
By order of the Grand Healer? Like, come on.
I anything, but
He's gonna take the life drinker and he's gonna try to cut the throats of all three of the what used to be these women.
So they really don't have throats.
Humanoid?
They really don't have throats.
Oh god.
Like I said, like, you know, like there's a head like here, and then there's like a head here, and there's another one kind of sticking out the side. And I guess these two kind of have necks, but this one is more of like embedded in a shoulder, and like you see that there's like a full arm and then one kind of like a nub arm. And as you look, it looks like there's almost like they were holding themselves like in fear when this globulation happened, and it's just a mass of slimy flesh.
Yeah, he's gonna try to find any vital spots that he can tell, like any sort of throbbing arteries or anything. He wants to make this as merciful as he can.
Okay, go ahead and roll a damage roll.
Oh god. Wait, why'd that roll extra? Oh, I guess life cutter. Okay, whatever.
You see one of the head's eyes roll to the back of its head and go limp, and the other two let out this screech that is just this high pitch screech. Not even, it doesn't even sound like a sound a human would be able to make. Almost ear piercing, as they are just screeching, and you see like the goblin that's next to you like covering his ears like in a panic.
Yeah, he's gonna try and slice through the heads of the other two.
Ukto turns to the goblin and asks, "Does it speak something in your tongue? Does it cry out?"
It doesn't speak, it just breathes.
That's unfortunate.
Go ahead and give me another damage roll. And as you hack into the other one, again, you see that its head just hangs limp, and the third head is still just screaming, and this thick green ichor of a fluid is just leaking out of the wounds.
And this last one, he pauses for a second and says, "This was not a part of our deal. I now send you to Our Lady of Death." And he takes the last swing.
And as you hack into it, it just screeches louder.
And takes another swing.
And the body collapses to the ground, and you hear the jingling of chains as you notice that it's actually chained to the wall in the position that it's in.
Oh my god.
As it just lays in this puddle of just filth and this green fluid that is oozing out of it.
With Ukto's medical knowledge, would I know if that's just like goblin blood, or do you want me to do a medicine check?
Yeah, give me a medicine roll.
Sure.
So glad I'm not there.
Divian would be puking.
Oh,
Yes.
You've never really seen anything like this. The odor that is now filling this cavern that you guys are staying in does not have the smell of blood as you are familiar with. It's just a very sour smell, almost of like spoiled milk. On top of the already foul senses that are flooding your nostrils. It's just not something that you've ever encountered before.
okay.
Roderick is like looking at this corpse of this creature for a moment before he finally like puts the life cutter away, turns around, and he walks over to the little goblin and says, "What is your name?"
And the goblin's just kind of staring at like the corpse of Helga. And
Why would you do that? How can we grow? How can we survive?
How did you do it before this happened?
We had a brood mother.
And what happened to her?
She died years ago.
Okay. So, when the brood mother dies, what do goblins do?
Normally they move on and find new tribes. This was the first time we've had a new brood mother. You have killed us.
Well, again, I ask, what is your name?
Verk.
Oh, Verk, I think it is time that the tribe goes and finds a new brood mother and doesn't try to create one of these ever again.
You can't find a brood mother.
Then how do you get one?
They are born that way.
Sorry, repeat that.
They are born that way. And brood mothers, you have killed us.
No, you will find another group and you will find their brood mother and you will take that one as your own.
So taking brood mother's fine, but making brood mother is not.
Correct.
And he just looks at you with this confusion in his face.
You understand the concept that if someone strong challenges your leader and the challenger wins, they are the new leader. Is that not your way?
That is goblin law.
So you're going to challenge another tribe with your new strength. And when you win, you claim their brood mother.
And if we lose and then they take us,
You won't lose.
have you seen other goblin?
I have not been looking for other goblins. So it will be your job to go out and find them. Is there a problem with that?
The only problem is you have killed us.
If you follow my directions, you will be fine.
He just hangs his head.
Do you doubt my word?
No.
Good. He reaches into his bag and he pulls out a plat and a gold and he says, your people gather people wandering by and eat their flesh and everything, but you don't value these. I want you to go wherever you store your leftovers, gather all the pieces that look like this, and bring it to us out front.
Shoshugaba takes all that.
Well, he's dead. So what did he do with it?
I don't know what Shoshugaba did.
Where did he sleep at night? One of the huts out front?
The big one.
Okay.
Good. We're going there. And Vardrak starts walking out back to the front.
And he's still just standing there, just staring at the corpse of this thing.
Vardrak turns around and sees that he's not following. And he says, "You still doubt me?"
I just want to mourn Helga.
Are all brood mothers like that?
No, Helga was special. She make you more goblin than any other brood mother. Our numbers have grown since she came twofold.
Well, as I said, you are going to find other caves where goblins reside, other tribes. You're going to conquer them and add them to your own. And you're going to collect their brood mothers to be your own. And you will all
Because you
march
say
under my
so, we
banner.
are going to win.
I know you're going to win. You have the numbers. You are strong. You have armor. You have arrows. No other goblin tribe is going to stand before you.
He just nods his head yes.
It's good. Then he starts walking back out to the front of the cave again.
And as you walk out there, everybody that's kind of standing around, like, they see you and they just, like, pretend to be busy with doing things, like they're off doing their duties now.
Vakta, you want to search that hut and the body of that ogre and see what he has on him?
Kind of wrinkles her nose like she doesn't really want to go near him, but she nods and goes, "Yeah, I'll go do that." And makes her way over to the ogre's body, and we find perception.
Yep. There we go. Okay. That's funny. Okay. Give me a D10.
Right.
So you find 70 gold on him and 220 silver.
Okay, I'm gonna hand that to Vardrak, and then I'm going to go inside the hut and look for more. Which I'll roll perception again. What? The hut's empty. I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, as you start looking through it, I mean, the inside of this place, like, there's little more than, like, a crude pot on a fire, and a bed. There's really nothing else there that looks like it's of value.
Comes back out. She just kind of half shrugs and says, "That's all."
All right. Vardra's going to pick up that staff that he was pointing at him. Does it appear to be, like, magical?
As you pick it up, you don't feel any sort of, like, strange magical sense just from holding it.
He's gonna hand it over to Ukto.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Now, when we get back to Clevens, perhaps we can find out if it's anything special.
You know I cast from the power of Tiamat, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just I make it go, do spooky spells. Does it mean I can use this?
Perhaps not. And perhaps it would be valuable to someone in our city.
Okay. I'll carry the thing.
And Vardrak is going to address the goblins again. He says, to the rest of you, Verks is going to be your new leader. He is going to lead you to conquering other goblin tribes and claiming new brood mothers to be your own. That is going to be your new way of life. You will not create brood mothers. I don't know what that monstrosity was in there, but I have ended it.
Then you just hear like chatter erupt in Goblin.
So you will become the conquerors. You will get new brood mothers. And again, if anyone has a problem with that, please step forward.
The chatter dies down. Everybody's just looking at you.
I need one volunteer to come with me, and the rest of you can get to work on your new mission.
From the back, you hear this voice.
I can offer my assistance.
Good. Let's go. And then he starts walking out of the camp.
And you see this goblin that he's a tan-skinned goblin, which there are only a few of those that you've seen in the group. And he kind of looks around at everybody and begins following you.
And as they're walking, he's kind of used cure wounds on himself a few times because goddamn.
Well, I wanted to use the healing word.
Oh, I mean, if you want to do that.
But I don't know if we can do that while moving.
Nope, you have to stay. It's a 10-minute cast.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's a ritual. I just wasn't sure. It's prayer and healing.
What time of day is it?
Right now, it's going into evening.
Okay. He's just gonna keep walking for a bit. Like he's heading back towards the path that leads into Clevens. He's pulling his armor back up and attaching the top chest piece and everything. But unless someone says something to him, he's just gonna keep walking in silence.
All right. And, yeah, so the sun is slowly starting to set off in the distance.
Bardrick, we need to make camp at some point.
You're right. Let's stop here.
Where is here?
How far off of the Dog Eater Caverns do you walk? Like about how long?
He wants to go until it's like almost nightfall and then start setting up camp.
Okay, so like a couple hours then.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys set everything up and prepare for nightfall. Is there anything special you guys want to do?
I am going to use prayer of healing. Prayer of healing prayer, whatever it's called. Did I have it prepared today? I did. I did totally have prayer.
I targeted everybody for you. Go ahead and cast it.
Okay. So it's 2d8 plus. Whoa, no, hey, that's too many dice. Good God. What do we stop?
You should have just like on your abilities tab, like just a plus sign icon you can click.
I know, but like I'm using the world's crappiest mouse, and I tried to click it, and something went haywire.
You want me to do it for you?
I fixed it.
Okay.
There we go. And then plus 4. Just that out.
What's the cast time on this?
10 minutes.
Okay, while she's doing that, at the same time, he's going to be taking 10 minutes to resummon Asha.
The 10-minute prayer is talking about Tiamat. Mostly talking about how her tail became the Milky Way and the stars above when she died in like the traditional mythology. And Kuto's just gonna tell that story. And yeah.
Vakto's listening as she's like setting up her bedroll and getting her blanket out. And how many months has it been since we got that blanket? Like,
I mean, really? It's been 3
yeah,
years
I mean,
plus.
it's in better shape than all of her clothing, because if there's anything that she goes out of her way to take care of, it's her really nice blanket.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Is it like a weighted blanket? Like it costs $40?
It was an expensive, really nice blanket because Vardrock ruined mine. But it's okay because he got me a nice one.
What?
Yes, ruined Vardrock. Fight me. Except
Please no. I'm running on healing spells. Please stop.
I won't win.
I'm still. This doesn't change that I'm running low.
You got stealth on your side.
Look, guys, I have 1 revivify. Please no.
Vardrock is like, he's just kind of sitting there, you know, after Asha shows up and is just laying beside him. He's like, I really wanted to tell Urks about our coming wedding, but now he's gone.
Is he telling this to Asha?
He's telling it to the group in common.
Okay. Wedding?
Yes.
Are you the one who caught that?
Huh.
Well, a king and queen are wed, are they not?
I suppose that's correct.
Yes.
Do I volunteer to perform it, please! Please!
As soon as Ukta was like, please! Vakta just like sees her face and like just like melts and then turns to Vardrock and is like, please! I can't deny Ukta anything.
Well, you taken the words right from my mouth. I was going to ask you if you'd do us the honor.
I've always wanted to perform the ceremonies of Tiamat. I've just never had a chance to. Any of them. I always thought I'd have to do, a rite of coming of age or an atonement. Not a wedding. Those are way more special. Well, not more special, but rare, and just kind of goes on into like a little tangent about all the different ceremonies.
Victor's just like kind of nodding and not really listening, to the point where if Ukto stopped talking, she'd probably just still be nodding.
Yes. And there's one other thing, Ukto.
Yes?
I will ask that you do me one other honor.
What would that be?
I need a royal advisor.
We're on about this again.
You are
I
wise.
don't know that. Oh, sorry?
You are wise, that's what you are.
I am honored that you think so highly of me as to be worthy of a position as important as that. I don't know that I can accept such responsibility.
Victor just kind of like quickly gets to her feet and like brushes off her pants, and she's like, Ukto, let's go for a walk.
Certainly.
Great. Vodrak, you should stay here and like make a fire for warmth. Great, thanks. And she just like loops her arm through Ukto's and just starts walking away.
Vardrak and Asha kind of look at each other and shrug.
Like, okay. Sure, whatever.
As soon as Vakto deems that they're out of hearing range, she just kind of like stops and looks at Ukto, and she's like, you don't understand how many level-headed people he is going to need around him, because he won't always listen to me. And if he wants you to advise him, just all you have to do is smile and nod and say, Vardrak, no.
Well, we saw how well that worked earlier today. What with the whole smashing the goblin's face.
Yeah, it's kind of hard when he's in a rage, and we saw how, well, he listened when I told him, no, don't hit the old man, and he still did. So, it's positions and titles that sound like they have more respect. It just means that he might have the slightest, tiniest chance to listen a tiny bit more than he would have otherwise. And if not for him listening to us, then to the people in Pleasant Scar, if they see that there are level-headed, kind people around him, they might not think so much of the impulsive, brutish king that they have. You've seen how I follow him around and apologize for him. I've seen you do the same thing. So having that title is more important to the people than it is to Vardrak, in all honesty.
Vardrak makes very tight attachments to people, and when he does become attached to someone, I've noticed he's slow to let it go. Slow to heal and move on. My worry... I've nearly died twice in less than a week. 2 weeks, something like that. It hasn't been very long. I don't know that I'm cut out for this adventuring thing. That's not to say that I'm gonna walk away from this, because I have sworn it to myself that I will come with you, either to finish this and prevent Orcus from coming and taking this plane, or until I take my dying breath, whichever happens first.
Do you want to know how many times I've almost died? I've almost died twice since you joined, and many more times before that, so I'm just going to pretend that you didn't say that, because it's not really an excuse with this group. And she says it like jokingly, but at the same time, she's just like, I'm
not used to this. This is completely new for me. Being a horse is a new concept. Riding a horse is a new concept. Walking for days in the woods is a new concept. Camping is a thing?
Right? I've lived on the streets before, but like in the woods, how do you know which berries you're supposed to eat and which ones are gonna kill you? I don't know.
I don't either.
I'm missing. I'm hungry. I
am
I'm
sure
hungry.
he will find his way to us, or we will find him.
Also, little bit disheartening that nobody has brought up Divian this entire time.
We need food. Oh, I miss him now.
Yeah. Fucking Vardrox
Honestly.
broke it up over a fucking goblin that he's had like 4 interactions with, but Divian's been missing for like 2 days now, and like, he'll find
I thought
his
we
way.
agreed that when we got split up, that we would meet back at Club and Scar. Like I thought we just like acknowledged that last week that it was like he's still not back. We'll probably meet up at Club and Scar, right? Yeah.
Like, we
Okay.
can address
That's
it.
correct.
We asked where was he, and Vardrock was like, nah, it's cool. We're gonna meet up. It's all good. And you were like, okay, you guys are like BFFs with your little bromance, so it's cool. I guess we'll meet up later. We're not gonna worry about it.
Let's face it, Devian's the true queen. I'm just the placeholder.
Facts.
Divian, other queen.
Divian's name was on the book.
It was. Totally was.
I'm a queen.
I've seen the book. I know.
Make sure that eyeliner is on point.
So, as you guys are having this conversation, you feel like this trembling of the ground, and your conversation is cut short by this explosion. And as you look off in the distance towards Clevenskar, you see this flume of fire into the sky.
Better not be my new house.
It's your house.
No! So we're not gonna get any rest tonight, because as soon, like, Vakto looks at Ukto and she's like, fuck, and then books it back to where, Vardrock and Asha were.
And
Ukto's
similarly,
gonna-
Vardrock and Vardrock and Asha, you guys both felt the same thing, heard the same thing, seen the same thing.
Okay. Real quick, Cliff, did you get my message?
I don't check messages typically, so no. But I will check it right now.
Yeah, he's going to already be packing up as they're coming back.
Okay. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I already know what happened.
So yeah, so you guys all run back over there and see that Vardrock is already like packing everything up, snuffed out the fire and everything.
Yep, immediately packing my blanket back up. Like, not even, like, sad, like, oh, I don't get to sleep tonight. It's just, like, in a rush.
Ukto didn't have anything set out because I was busy doing the healing word, or the prayer of healing. So Ukto's just gonna, like, start untying the horses.
Okay. And are you guys just bolting or what?
What was that?
I said, are you guys just bolting out of there, or what are you doing? And how far what, John?
How far of like normal travel time is it from Clevens from where we're at right now?
About 2 days.
Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, you're just gonna try and keep a fast pace, and we'll try to get as close to Clevenskar as we can.
So are you guys like trying to push it?
Yeah.
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 So you got about, like I said, 2 days worth of normal ride time. if you guys push it, you could probably do it in a day and a half or so. Maybe a little bit less than a day and a half.
Okay.
I need everybody to give me Constitution saves.
Will they get the bonus for riding close to me?
Well, that brings up an interesting question. So you guys have Asha, a horse, and 3 people. So what's your guys' riding pattern?
I guess I'd be riding with Vardrox since we've done that before. And Ukto would be on the horse.
Yeah.
Okay. Then yeah, you guys should get the bonus. What is it, +4?
Yeah.
Okay, so Vakta would be a 19 and Ukto would be a 24. Okay. So you guys ride all through the night, and you guys find the main trail back and start heading down that, and through the gaps in the trees and the breaks in the brush, you're still seeing fire in the sky, basically in the direction you guys are heading. You guys travel all through the night, all through the day, and the sun is starting to set again about 20 hours later, and you guys are still riding essentially at full speed.
Oh,
Vardrug is going to, in his mind, ask Asha how she's holding up, and if she can push just a little bit further.
Oh yeah, give me a Constitution save for Asha too.
Yeah. I think I have to put her back on the map so I can bring up her token.
About how far is it looking like we are from Clevenspire?
After about a full days at riding full speed, I mean, you guys are, like I said, you guys are maybe 4 to 6 hours out, maybe a little bit longer.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I guess, give me a 20 roll, Alex.
Yeah. For Orphan Horse.
For Orphan Horse.
For Orphan Horse.
Orphan Horse.
And they get a +1 modifier, so it is a 3. Okay.
God bless this poor horse. Team God bless this poor horse.
And Cliff, as it looks like the sun is setting, he's going to reach into his his bag of holding. He's going to take the life drinker and he's going to make a gesture like he just cut something.
Okay. Give me an attack roll. Oh, I'm sorry, not attack roll. Give me a damage roll.
Oh, jeez. I mean, if it's like a little paper cut.
Yeah. Yeah. What the hell did you just do? Oh, you targeted yourself and killed yourself.
Oh, cool.
That's the end, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming.
No!
what?
Couldn't take it anymore. Just end it.
Fuck it.
I don't remember how many points you had left. It was at 95 plus 12.
83, I think.
So 95, 85, 6, 4, 3, 83. Okay. So you did 25. Okay. Anybody want to do a perception check to find out what the fuck just happened, or are you guys good?
Oh, yeah, oh no, absolutely.
It's probably much more focused on riding.
Okay.
Not even there, and I know what happened.
Yeah, I know exactly what happened, but
No, you don't.
So, Vakta, seems how you're basically riding right behind him. You see Vardrak pull out this bag of holding, and you get just the slightest glimpse of this goblin inside. As Vardrak slices into it, you hear a bit of a squeal as he folds the flap shut, and you just don't hear anything.
Oh
I'm not commenting. I just know. Oh God.
Look, he got his blood slave.
Oh. Congrats on the blood slave.
All right, now you guys still pushing forward then?
Blood volunteer. All right.
That is true. He did volunteer.
Uh-huh. Loophole.
Ukto, you didn't see anything though.
Yeah.
And you guys are still just pushing through, right?
Yeah, and he's also going to take time because he realizes how much in pain he is himself. And he's going to cast Cure Wounds on himself a few times. Because, ow. 2. Let's do one more.
Dang, you got an injured Vakta riding on the back of your horse, and you're sitting there healing yourself?
Yeah, how beat up does she look still?
Oh, don't worry about it now. You already used all your fucking health points.
No, I still got more.
Vakta's, she's got some stains on her clothes from blood, and she's a little worse, a little worse for wear, but she doesn't look too bad. You've definitely seen her much worse.
He's seen me dead, so
Exactly.
or dying. So of course he's seen me worse.
How is Vakta riding here? Like, what is she holding on to? Like,
unless you had another idea of this, I would assume she would be behind you with her arms around your waist.
Yeah.
that's what I figured, but just making sure.
And you
you're
would
gonna
just feel the
feel him,
warmth
like,
of his
kinda-
body as he's healing himself. You just feel like the heat he's emitting.
Warm.
He's gonna like grab one of your hands, and then he's going to do a 2nd level Cure Wounds.
Only so he doesn't get in trouble for healing himself.
So he's giving you a better one than he gave himself.
Meanwhile, Ukto's over there bloody as fuck.
What God? It's higher judgment.
I'm at half health. It's fine. This is fine. As long as we don't end up dealing with more goblins.
No.
And as the sun sets and you guys keep pushing through the woods, you hear the sound of a horse crying out as it collapses and launches Ukto to the ground.
Oh.
Fardak's gonna rear back on Asha and circle back around. And looks down at Ukto. Are you okay?
She gets up. She's coughing. Yeah, I'm okay. And starts to kind of make her way back toward the horse, but she's limping.
And as you get over towards the horse, you can see the horse is breathing very rapidly as it's laying on its side.
Uh-oh. I don't know what my spells do. It's been like 3 sessions since I cast anything. Oh, God. It's seriously been like 3 games. Okay, so first and foremostly, I am going to cast Spare the Dying on it. So it doesn't die.
Okay.
Good plan.
First order of business. Second.
Make sure you tick that off your spell list.
Oh, hang on. It's a cantrip.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yeah, so I can just do it as many times as you want. Then I'm gonna do a medicine check real quick to try to figure out what exactly is going on with said horse.
I mean, as you walk up and you put your hand on it, you could feel its body tense up, and it's like struggling to keep its eyes open, but it's got very rapid breathing. I mean, in your opinion, you just feel it's exhausted.
Okay. So it's not dying, it's just really tired right now.
Yeah, like you feel like if it kept pushing on, it probably would die.
Okay. This horse can't keep going. It's going to die if we try to push it any further.
Okay. Clevens is not that far.
I can get us a little bit closer. And is how familiar does this area look to Udo? Do you want me to do like an insight or
Give me a survival check.
survival? Oh,
We
boy.
could just kind of rest for just an hour or two and continue on from there. Because a while back, get this off, did the Table of Fate for Vakta, and I emit a comforting aura, and short rests are to act as long rests.
That's only for you, though.
I don't know.
I do.
But it says emits a comforting aura.
Right,
I
right,
figured
right.
that would affect the people around me.
Mm-mm. Well, sure. Okay, even if it does, a short rest is 4 hours.
Oh my god, that's still so long.
Here, there's... Udo, you still have the ability to heal, right?
Yes.
Okay. You and Vakta take Asha, head into town. I'll stay here with the horse.
That sounds like the opposite of a solution.
That sounds like a final solution for the horse,
You can-
honestly.
No,
you can
you are
heal
not killing
people. You can heal people who might be injured in town, and Vakta is their queen. It will be fine. I will
You're
wait.
not gonna kill the horse.
I'm not
Vakta-
going to kill the horse.
Vakta looked at Vardrug and is like, this horse comes to town alive.
Why do you think I'm staying?
You
Okay.
are not gonna kill Yitma. I will end you. I don't know how.
Oh, the horse is okay. Look,
I named it.
What did you name it?
I named it Yitma.
Yitma?
It means orphan.
Y-I-T-M-A?
oh my god.
Y-I-T-M-A.
Perfect.
It means orphan.
Look, if I wanted to kill the horse, it would be a very quick, swift action right now, and then we would all continue. I'm staying here until it's able to move again.
Okay. Alright. Perfect. Ukto, let's go.
Super quick, Cliff. My survival check.
You have a general idea of following the path, but you don't really know how far away, just based on your surroundings, you are from the city.
Gotcha. Okay. Alright, then. Well, okay. I'm gonna get on Asha.
And as soon as you mount up, Asha just takes off towards Clevens.
All right, so they take off. They're gone. You're standing there with a horse.
A sad horse.
A sad, orphaned, exhausted horse. It's got
He
tear
just
stains.
He just plops down next to it and just starts like stroking its head.
All right, and what is your plan? Are you planning on resting there with it?
Yeah,
In the middle of the road.
yeah.
All right,
And
well,
how much does a horse weigh?
Oh my god.
what, you gonna try to carry it?
Depends on how much it weighs.
Well, I mean, give me a strength check and I'll let you know if you can do it or not.
Can I do athletics?
Yeah, sure. I guess I would assume that would be an athletic fucking check.
Haha. He's gonna try. Let's see here.
You get it off of its feet, but it's just pure dead weight, and you don't feel like you'd be able to sustain it, so you let it back down to the ground gently.
Okay. So then he plops down and he just starts trying to take a bit of a rest while the horse is resting.
And as you're sitting there, looking off in the distance towards Clevens to your north, you're still seeing that even though it's night out, the sky is just orange off in the distance.
Okay.
So are you going to take a long rest?
Yeah, he's super anxious, but he knows that he's trying to fulfill so many promises. He needs to do this, so he's just gonna stay put.
All right, so you end up like propping yourself up against the horse with like your arms crossed. You end up nodding off, and almost in a panic, you wake up. The sun's up. You don't know what time it is, but the sun is up in the sky, and you're like, I gotta go. I gotta go.
How's the horse looking?
The horse is able to stand up when you do it. It doesn't look like it's in tip-top shape, but it's definitely able to move.
Gonna try and test its weight. See if it can hold him.
Okay. Yeah. You climb up on it, and it seems uneasy at first, but you petting its mane and everything, it soothes it a little bit, and it seems to be steady.
All right, he's gonna start trying to ride it into town.
All right, you make it into to Clevenskar. It's mid to late afternoon. You're starting to see that the sun is on the other side of its pinnacle. And you get to the town, and all is fine. You're still seeing that there is smoke off in the distance to the north. As you get there, and you go to the stables, you catch Zuminer walking off in the distance, and he like calls to you, Brother Vardrak, I'm so glad that you made it here all right. Come this way, come this way.
Yeah, he rides over and immediately hops off his horse. What happened?
A number of things. You couldn't have left at a worse time. The mountains to the north, the Fireside Mountains, have erupted, and they are spewing lava about. They have evacuated parts of Sea Bluff, and people have made makeshift camps to the southwest. The entire area to the northwest of the Fireside Mountains, even stretching beyond the collapsing rise, are covered in ash, soot, and fire. Your friend, Divian, is not doing well. A few days ago, this gentleman was out in the woods and found his collapsed body unconscious. And seeing as this was the first city, he brought him here. I have him in my chambers right now. He's stable now, but he's in bad shape.
Take me to him immediately.
And he ushers you over to his house. And as you get there, Ukto is sitting at like the foot of the bed with him, and Vakta's in there as well. And you see Devian is just bruised, and there's like blood stains on his shirt, and he is just laying in the bed. And he doesn't even open his eyes when you get there at first.
He's gonna walk over to his side. And says, "I'm here now, my friend." And he's gonna look over to Ukto and Vakta. Like, has he said anything?
And Zuminer's like, he really hasn't said much since he's been brought back here.
And we don't know what happened?
No, the gentleman that brought him here just said he found him. I put him up in a room in the tavern if you would like to speak with him.
Well, has there been no healer to help him? Like, why is he not on his feet right now?
We've done everything that we could here. We've given him healing, but the wounds seem deeper than the surface.
Ukto, what is this?
Hang on, the map exploded over everything. I can't do a medicine check right now. I'm sorry, I can't check his vitals or anything. There's a giant map in my way.
Zuminer's like, oh, I'm sorry, hold on, and he folds the map up, and there's just not enough room here.
It's very cramped.
So I mean, as you're checking him over, he doesn't appear to like have any broken bones or anything. But in the 6 or so hours that you guys have been here, I'd say 8 hours. He hasn't said anything. He woke up briefly for a moment, and then passed back out. You don't think it's any sort of infliction, but you're not really sure exactly what's going on.
From a medical standpoint and from like a physiological standpoint, nothing seems to be wrong with him. There's no broken bones. There's no serious. I mean, there's injury, but there's not anything that would cause someone to be in this state. Maybe magic? I don't know.
Using his divine sense, does he sense any sort of evil magic coming from him?
Nope. The only evil you sense is his belt.
That belt buckle he had. All right. Well, I will speak to the man that brought him in. Has any, I don't know, refugees from Sea Bluff been come here at all?
A few have that were able to pay. We have them in the taverns, and there were a few that I allowed to make camp off to the northern borders, but we don't have the housing for everyone.
Understood. Was Sea Bluff destroyed as far as you know? Like, is it uninhabitable now?
The last reports that I had, the city itself wasn't, but the conditions are unlivable around there. The pools of fire have drained from the mountains. Parts of the wall and some of the homes on the outskirts were destroyed, but most of the city itself is still intact, but the ranges of heat are just unbearable.
Well, I've brought us some more money for the treasury. We can take in the people that need shelter, but they'll have to partake in building their own, helping to build their own homes if they want to stay here. I'm sure they would not like to return to Sea Bluff with the mountains erupting.
In their current state, I'm not sure how up to it they're going to be. And
Well, Suminer, I'm sorry to interrupt, but has Durian sent any aid?
none that I have heard of, though I have not checked to see what the Queen plans to do with this yet. We've had very little time to react.
And this is where the demons were going, correct?
No, the demons, for the most part that we've seen, have been in Sharv's Waste, off to the
Been
west.
heading to the desert. Sea Bluff is.
That's why I was double checking. I'm not
Yes.
so great with the outdoors and, you know.
And he's like pointing off in one direction. He's like, Sharv's Waste and the Fire Scythe Mountains are
Is where all the
Not-
smoke and the yellow and that is. Okay, cool.
correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't
And-
really have a lay of the land.
It's completely understandable. And as I said, we don't really have housing for everyone who is here right now. We could order some of the residents to share their quarters, but I'm not sure how happy they would be of that.
Do we have things here that would be able to make temporary housing, like just tents?
Well, we've given them all that we can. People have set up their makeshift camps outside of the city. We could probably use the temple for some housing, but anything that we do is going to interfere with the normal operations. We're at a point where we don't really have any spare room to wiggle without affecting one thing or another.
Ukto turns to Vardruk. This is a small, budding nation. We do not have the infrastructure, the money, or the resources to be able to house refugees in great numbers. What we can offer them is a safe place to stay. We can offer them food and at least a little bit of safe passage through this area. We are not going to open the entire country to God knows how many people. Because I don't know how big Sea Bluff is. How big is Sea Bluff?
Sea Bluff is a full-size city, population 22,000.
Significantly bigger than this city, kingdom. I advise that we offer them hospitality, safe passage, water, not necessarily food, but if we can spare hardtack or something like that, just to keep them going.
You advise. Is that as the king's advisor?
Vardruk's eyebrow perks up.
You don't seem to listen to anybody else.
Yes.
I listen all the time.
Sure.
Listening and hearing are two different things.
Correct.
And as you guys are
Councilman?
talking, you see Divian's eyes sort of half open, and he's looking towards you guys.
Quick, you two fight some more. He'll come to in no time. It's a
Vardruk,
medical opinion.
Vardruk goes over to his side.
Because Vardruk's finally here. Now he'll wake up. The bromance is real.
You just jealous.
Shannon!
Do you want us to give you a moment?
Just hearing all this jealousy.
When is Vakta not jealous and petty? Come on.
True, that's fair. Vardruk's gonna go to his side and says, "Are you all right?"
Am I like fully conscious and able to speak, or
You're mostly coherent. And mechanic wise, you currently have 5 levels of exhaustion.
holy shit?
Which means that you have disadvantage on all checks. Your speed is 0. You have disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws, and your hit point maximum has been halved temporarily. Next step is
So,
death.
ready for combat?
Tired boy.
Vardrak's gonna pull out his water skin and open it up and hand it to him.
You know they got cups, right?
Nah.
Nah, Vivian like snatches it from her hand and downs it.
Lay down. Go.
He like kind of tries to sit up, but just falls back down. And he like trying to lift his hand, points towards his belt. Like, fuck,
No.
tired.
What happened after we got separated? I expected to see you back at the inn.
Female, she's seen me. The elemental, I'm pretty sure it would know me. Just, I left, tried coming here, and shit happened.
Oh, no shit. What shit happened?
He's like pointing towards his belt, like, this thing hurts.
You've been using that shadow belt again,
It's useful.
but
Just
it
need to- I
nearly
need to go
killed
better
you.
with. Nearly.
As the wielder of the life drinker.
Mine isn't killing me.
Yet.
It's
I
not.
did this to myself. This was my mistake.
How so?
Not something. Just impatient. Tried rushing things.
Do you use it more times than it could handle?
No, just I probably shouldn't be trying to use it in broad daylight.
Oh,
Vakta looks like she almost wants to smack him just lightly, but just like a you idiot, but she just kind of like sits there like.
And yet, Divian gets a soothing aura from Vakta's presence.
I'm in a soothing aura while I want to hit you.
well, it's good to see you alive at least, my friend.
It's good to be alive.
We have a situation that we'll catch you up on later, but for right now, you should get rest.
Yes, that sounds good. Check on the pistols and rifles for me.
Oh,
The Smith.
That's right.
Rifle. Oh, you mean riffles? The riffles? Those things?
yeah, the riffles, yeah.
The place.
Go to the Smith. I gave them to Malin. He should know what you're talking about.
All right. I will take care of it.
Sim, can I go through your stuff and borrow a dagger or something real quick? Like just a knife?
He's asleep.
Uh,
So if
she's
you want to
just
go
gonna
through,
start rifling through his bags until she finds a knife.
you can use my homemade sword.
No, I need a knife to cut through the leather surrounding everything metal I own.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, going through his stuff, you see that he has a short sword. He has 2 daggers, and he has a sickle.
I'm gonna take one of the daggers and just start like hacking away outside one. Wait, no, I have a dragon tooth, dragon tooth dagger. I don't need any of that. I can just use mine. Never mind. I brained.
Brain good.
Brained so good.
You guys just see Vakta just shuffling through all his shit, and then she's like, "Oh!" Just throws his pack down.
It's exactly what happened. She was like, "Fuck," and just like pulls out her bone dagger and then just pulls out her other dagger and just like starts hacking away at the leather.
Wow. Yeah, let's go take care of things. Well, now that Divian's awake, I guess we don't need to speak to the man who brought him, but I do want to see him rewarded.
Octo's still like picking at the leather on her second dagger, and she's like, "Let's go talk to him." And she just like stands up and is still picking at it, and will walk, continuing to pick at it, just like.
Is Zuminer still there, or
Yep.
is he moved?
He's still there.
It's still okay. Ukto's gonna ask him how much he knows about arcane magics, or if anyone here perhaps knows about arcane magics.
I can't say it's my area of study, but I've seen quite a few things in my years. Why?
Vardrak found the stick, and she presents him with the staff that the ogre had. It doesn't seem to radiate a divine energy, so I'm assuming that would mean it would be arcane. There's no religious symbols or anything that would indicate that it is religious in nature.
Looks very primitive, but let me see here.
It was in the possession of an ogre. And that's why everything, and she kind of gestures down at her scale mail, is covered in leather. Or at least I'm assuming.
I meant to ask you about that, but I figured there were more pressing matters at hand. I don't recall ever seeing Vardrak wearing leather boots. But I will look this over and I will let you know. Don't let me keep you from doing what you need to do, though.
Which room is the man in who brought Divian?
If you go into the tavern, he's in room 4B.
All right. We need to. I don't want to leave these people from Sea Bluff stranded, but as my advisor said, he says, like, advisor questioningly, we don't want to take on the full load ourselves. So perhaps we can work out something where we get a record keeper to keep track of certain tools that we loan out to them so that when they are ready and able, those with skills can start assisting with things around the city, farming, building, blacksmithing, whatever they can help with. And then they can work off whatever that they take, food, water, what have you.
And how many of these refugees should we let in?
We can set up a tent city outside the line where the walls are to be built. So that will be the first thing. Anyone who is not able to make camps of their own, we can supply what we can to help them out. And they can work off anything that they may need from there.
And for us to
And-
get them initial supplies, is there any certain number you want to limit it to?
Well,
What is the current population?
I don't know the exact number, but we have a few dozen displaced families.
well, we're going to need a record keeper. Perhaps several. Because we're going to need to start building the foundation for this kingdom anyway. But we need to keep track of who we are and are not helping, who's coming and going. We don't want to loan out anything that if someone were to run off, we would be hurting from it.
Well, as far as having any sort of public record, we would only need maybe one or two for Clevens, but we may need an additional for the refugees.
Yes, let's have one or two specifically for Clevens. We need to get a record of each one of its citizens. We need to know their skills, and we also want to question them, and we may need to be thorough in our questioning as to their loyalties to Tiamat and to this city.
So you want me to find two people to handle the census that are devout towards the faith?
Yes. Because we're not only building a kingdom, we are going to need to build pretty much a society around our religion of Tiamat.
And
We need to get her power returned.
what if there are more qualified people that do not believe?
What we will do, we will factor that into the taxes. Those who spend enough time in the temple on a weekly basis in prayer and worship will have to pay less taxes than those who do not. So though we're not requiring people to worship, it will benefit them too.
And do you want me to do any other temporary positions for the refugees, or?
Oh, we will need people to help keep track of them, make sure they're not stealing, but also make sure that they are being cared for. We're going to need healers for them and just make sure they stay healthy. When all is said and done, I want them to be thankful for what we did for them in this place and what Tiamat's blessings provided them.
Well, the three or so healers that we have here, not counting the few that are from the temple, are not going to be enough. We can get more that we can temporarily house in the temple, but that's going to require us to build more housing. We may want to look into eventually building some sort of abbey, or at the very least just a dedicated housing for the priests.
Absolutely. I would like to sit down and work out all these plans with you, but we may have to put that aside for just a moment.
Well, I will begin to identify people that can be trusted as census, and I will see what we can do about these refugee. I can't guarantee that everyone will be happy with us setting up this makeshift city outside of the walls, but we will make the best of this situation, and we will show them Cleven's hospitality.
And we will explain it to everyone in a town meeting of sorts when we start explaining more of what we're planning for this town. Just waiting for a few more things to fall in place before we do.
I understand. I will get to work on this immediately.
And Zuminer, when we do the census and we question the people of Clevens, don't be afraid to use Circle of Truth, just to be certain.
I understand.
Where's Uathor in all of this?
He's most likely either in his chambers, where we were at last time, or in the temple itself.
Very good. And there was a shopkeep. She was always nice to me. She still run a shop here. She would start off a little shop that was next to the tavern.
I'm assuming you mean Selfie.
Yes.
Yeah, Selfie is still running the shop. She's one of the longest standing residents of Cleven.
Good. I want to offer her something I don't think she will want to refuse.
What?
You'll see.
No, I'd rather know now. I'm not a fan of big surprises.
Well, our new town needs to expand on selling goods and services to keep the income of money coming in from travelers. I want to make her the head of all of that, so she oversees all of the markets that we have going.
I want to go with you. I want to see her reaction.
Oh, she will love it.
Uh-huh.
Her eyes always get really big when I walk through the door. She's so always happy to see me.
You read people so well.
What's funny? Oh, you must be excited too. Okay, let's go.
Yes, so excited. Let's go.
He starts
and-
heading for it.
And speaking of surprises, Sister I'm sorry, Your Majesty.
You can still just call me Vakta. It's fine.
He looks over at Vardrak for confirmation.
Your Grace.
Oh my god.
Your Grace.
Mm-hmm.
The final stages for your house are being made. They have begun to build the framework for it. They have dug out the basement quarters. Should only be a few more days before it's done.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. In the midst of all this, I almost forgot. There may be some people from Durian who, if we are not here, they are welcome to stay in my house if they give you my name, specifically. If they do not, then they can probably help somewhere with the refugees.
I will let them know, and I will put them to a task when they get here.
Thank you. All right, Vardrak, let's go talk to Selfie.
Excellent. He's like walking out confidently.
Uptu's gonna go to the temple to try to meditate and get all the leather crap off of her armor.
Okay.
I'm still like picking at if I've gotten my dagger finished. I just took out an arrow and I'm picking off the leather off the metal tips of all of them. Just It's
And
my constant fiddle.
as you're like digging through your belongings and unsheathing all the leather from them,
Oh God, it's gonna be over every piece of money.
yeah, your pouches of money are just like a sack of leather inside of a pouch. Like just one like a wallet with no
I'm gonna be
opening.
at this for the rest of my life. I have 1,800 gold, 1,400 silver, 100 copper for some reason.
I assume that like however many different bags that you have these divvied up into, it's just like one encasing of metal coinage per
Cool.
bag.
It's all in one bag because Vakta just kind of like plops it and then rifles through.
Yeah. So as you're pulling out your bone dagger and you see that there's like this leather package inside there, and all of your coin, like as you pick it up, are just like and a note falls out. And
Okay.
as you look at this note, reading it in common, it just looks like a bunch of nonsense. But you decipher it as it being thieves' cant, and it says Queen Vakta.
Beautiful. Continue.
That's all it says.
Hmm. Oh no!
That was such a beautiful moment.
No. No. Oh fuck! Heard everything. Wait, does the handwriting look familiar?
Um.
Do you want me to roll an insight?
Yeah, give me an insight check. I guess it's kind of hard for me to say if it looks familiar or not.
I figure if it was Herfur's, I'd know it pretty well.
Um.
But it's also been a few years.
I mean,
Actually, no, not to me. It hasn't been a few years to me.
like no individual in general comes like to recollection of you recognizing it, but much like Melissa just did, the first thing that comes to mind is that possible encounter that you had while leaving Durian.
Yeah. Not good. Not good at all. Okay. That's getting folded up and tucked into a pocket.
All right, and are you guys going to the guy that rescued Divian, the blacksmith, or Selfie first?
We're gonna go to the guy who helped Divian first.
Okay. So as you guys make your way down the path, you stop in at the inn, and as you head to the room, knock on the door, this human answers the door. And he is wearing this very ornate and fine-looking robe. He has a very groomed and well-kempt beard, and his hair is well-kempt. And he's... so... I would assume that you are the ruler of these Providence.
Yes, we are. And you are the one who brought Divian back to us?
I am, yes. My name is Master Malcolm Dorwall. And he kind of reaches his hand out to shake yours.
Vardrock returns the
That sounds
handshake. Well, Sir Durwall,
Master Dorwell, if you please.
oh, of course, Master Durwall, where is it that you hail from?
Well, where I originate from is a hard question to answer, as I've been wandering for so long. But recently, I've been staying in a cottage just outside of Durian. But I'm only passing through here.
Any destination in mind, or still wandering?
Still wandering. You see, there is a pocket watch that is very valuable to me. And it was taken from me some time ago. So I have been, for lack of better terminology, I've been questing my way around, trying to find out who may know who has it.
And how did you come across our friend?
Well, as luck would have it, I was just passing through. I was making my way from my quaint little cottage, and I was headed towards Sea Bluff, as I was told that that is where most of your ship voyages come through. And I seen him just lying there on the ground, and he looked in pretty bad shape. Bloodied. I assumed he must have been attacked and left for dead. And he just kept saying something about Clevens, and pointing, so I followed his guidance, which led me here, and your friend, the mayor, or whoever he may be, was very gracious and put me up in this fine little room until you guys got here.
Oh, yes, we owe you a debt of gratitude, as he is a special one of our own. But you value coin as all else, or is there something else that you would like as a reward?
Well, I must say that remaining here was quite of a selfish nature, as anecdotally I was told that you are great adventurers, and that you may possibly be able to assist me in retrieving this pocket watch.
Well, we have several things going on that are, I'm sorry to say, a little more important at the moment than finding a random pocket watch in the world.
While it may seem so, I would assure you that that is not the case. What if I told you that finding this pocket watch could be the key to unraveling this all, preventing it all from happening even?
All of what?
Whatever situations arise for you.
He looks over at Vakta.
Friend, if there was one thing that happened in your life that you could go back and change, would you?
Well, I think that answer is a resounding yes for anyone.
So what if I told you that if you assist me in getting this pocket watch, that we could do that?
I would say that it seems a little unlikely that if someone else has such an ability that you would ever find it again.
That is the interesting thing. Though they possess the watch, they do not possess the ability.
And you do, I assume?
I wouldn't be wasting all of our times with this explanation if I did not. Now, I planned on going to Sea Bluff, but with recent events at hand, I couldn't help but notice that Sea Bluff has come to me. Now, with your permission, if I could ask around and maybe find some of the answers that I'm looking for that could point me in the right direction, would you be willing to assist?
I am curious about this. So I would say if you're just looking to ask questions, as long as you're not bothering anyone or interrupting their daily routine for more than a few moments, so be it. Then we will meet back up and discuss this further.
And what if conversation turns tide a bit more ugly than just words?
Why would they?
Oftentimes, people who work in certain circles of the underworld are not quite as forthcoming with information.
The underworld.
Well, you wouldn't think that I would span continent to continent looking for a pocket watch if it was just some ordinary cut purse who had it.
Well, if you want to talk about what may or may not exist in the underworld, that's more my companion's specialty.
Well,
Bacta doesn't really look like she's paying attention anymore. From the moment he said that you could turn back time and fix something you regret, she just like something clicked in her mind and she just zoned out and has not paid attention at all.
and he pauses for a second waiting for her to say something, and when she doesn't, he's like, well,
He nudges her.
What?
well, so the nature of the underworld in itself is not really the concern. The concern is tracking down the group that may have this. But I will ask questions, if at all possible, and I can avoid any further confrontation. I will let you know beforehand, and I will give you time to ponder my request.
I will do just that. I ask that you be respectful of our city and not cause any unnecessary trouble.
That is something that we both agree on.
Very well. You want to meet back up in a day or so?
Yes, that sounds perfect. I will see what I can find, and you know where I will be if you need me.
Very well. And thank you again for what you did for us.
It was the least that I could do.
Vardrak nods and then starts heading out of the inn. And he looks over to Vakhtaz. Like, do you buy any of that?
If she pauses and like looks kind of like sheepish for a moment because she totally bought into it, but she doesn't want to admit it. And she's just, if I could have the option to go back and save Herfru, I would. So it's easy to believe someone would want to steal this to do the same thing or to have that power.
Yes, I don't know. There's a couple of things I would love to change.
Sabian and Sirion and Belvane?
Yes, but in doing so,
What are the consequences?
yes, there's going to be consequences to making such changes. And on top of that, I would love to keep Insirion from making that whatever agreement that he made because I do feel that that's what allowed Orcus to come here the way he did, the whole reason why Orcus was pursuing him for so long.
That. And she pauses and sighs and is like, if this is indeed something that we pursue and help with, that is far more important quest than mine. That would think of the things we could do if Orcus wasn't brought into this plane like that. You wouldn't be tied to. And she kind of just like a life drinker.
It would not have been my first choice either. But I must admit that my first thought when he said that was something more selfish. But no matter.
What was your first thought?
It's nothing. It's just, people think of all sorts of things that they would love to change in their past and cannot. So, just a fleeting thought.
She doesn't really look like she buys into that, but she also doesn't want to push it further since it's kind of clear he doesn't want to talk about it.
Oh, shall we head to my little merchant friend?
Yeah, let's go see Selfie.
Okay, head into her shop.
Oh god, that laugh.
As you walk in, her eyes are kind of widened again, and then she's like, I've honestly been waiting for you to stop in here.
Vardrock looks over at Vakta like, see?
She's just like softly shaking her head like, that's...
He's looking so validated right now.
Zumina told me that you are to be the ruler of this little area here.
Yes. Clearly he trusts you with such secrets. This is good.
I've been here almost as long as he has.
But you were waiting for me to come in after you heard about this?
Anytime that I hear you're around, I wait for you to come here.
Well, I come bearing great news.
Another dire wolf pelt?
No. Even better.
I can hardly wait.
Well, you see, for us to expand, we're going to need to expand the markets here and the buying and selling and trading of goods. And I need someone that I can trust to oversee all of this. We have to get the money really flowing through here in order to expand. And I can't think of anyone better than you to be able to take that position.
And she just kind of sits there like blank face staring at you for like, it seems like an eternity. As you're like...
Yeah, he's doing that.
She's like, so you're serious?
I am very serious.
I've been talking with a few others, and we were all agreeing we need to get more trade through here to sustain the growth of this city. But we need more business to warrant the growth, and we need more growth to warrant the business. So we're at a standstill.
Right. And as tragic as this whole thing is to the north, we can use this. People are going to need things that they were hoping to get through Sea Bluff, through the trade on the waters, but are now cut off from. That's where we come in.
You want to take advantage of these people's situation?
Take advantage? No. They have needs, and so do we. They get the things that they need, we get money. Or they can go into the capital city of Durian and possibly get robbed or stabbed in a corner somewhere. You never know.
Most of them fled the city with little more than what they have on their person.
We're working all of that out. So a lot of these people are going to be put to work. If they don't have coin, then they will supply skills and strength, and they'll sweat off their backs to help expand the city.
But if they don't have coin, how does that help us?
If they don't what?
If they don't have coin, that doesn't help the trade.
Well, they're a small portion. We just need to work on expanding first and making this town more enticing for traveling traders to want to stop here for longer periods of time and trade their goods, by which we tax.
Okay.
So, you tell me what you take time, figure out what you need as far as employees, structures, you name it. We can have a main place here in town and one on the path that comes through here past us to Clevens. We'll set out an outpost as well.
Well, we'd have to get permission from the Queen to be able to set up an outpost in her jurisdiction.
No. You let me worry about the Queen. You just worry about this Queen and making sure she stays happy.
Oh. I'm sorry, I wasn't aware that we had a queen.
Boxer just kind of like sheepishly raises her hand. She's just, hi.
He's like looking at me like, isn't she fantastic?
Yes, and I forgive my demeanor. This is just all very overwhelming.
I completely understand. I mean, look at me, look at him, look at this. Yeah, no, I get it. I understand.
Yes, so do I.
She looks over at Vakta and grins. Well, one thing that we could do now that would help us with expanding would be to get as many able-bodied hunters as we can. The increased meat and pelt will be good not only for trade, but for sustaining the increasing numbers that we have.
I think that is an excellent idea. And once our friend Divian is back on his feet, he is probably the best hunter tracker I've ever seen. He can teach some of our people and the refugees as well, whoever's willing, to hunt. And that will be meats and pelts for us.
Well, the sooner we can get that going, the better.
Yeah, he'll be on his feet in no time. He's tough.
I'm dying.
Lord, take
Don't
me.
go towards the light.
That's what got into me in this mess in the first place.
So, yes, let me know what you need. Between me and Zoomer, we will put our heads together and we'll make sure that you're supplied with whatever you need to get us going. I have faith in you.
Well, thank you, my
Snaps
liege.
and finger guns, really, like
Finger riffles.
the finger riffles.
Bookjo's totally rubbing off on him.
Exactly.
She pulls out a piece of parchment and begins just like scribbling furiously, like different things that she's thinking of as you guys are leaving.
As he's walking out, he's like, "See, Vakta, that went as great as I said it would."
And it did go a lot better than I thought it would. She seems very excited about this.
See, I am the best king. he's, he's looking at you so proud. Glad you agree. And he's heading to the blacksmith.
As you guys make your way towards the blacksmith, towards the center of town, you see this giant raven dart in front of you and goes through one of the windows in Zoominer's house.
Let's make a quick detour.
Oh.
He's gonna head over to Zoominer's house.
Yeah.
And as you guys walk in there, you see this raven sitting at the end of the bed. And it's like twice the size of a normal raven. And it's like staring at Divian. And as you guys approach it, it turns and looks at you, and it caws, and as it caws, it just explodes into feathers, and you see a single piece of paper fall and land on Divian's chest.
I'm snatching that paper up to read it.
It's a good sign, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like, is Vivian awake yet? Nope, mine.
I'm sure that the blast would have probably
I'm sure it
woken
woke him up, but
Divian,
I'm still
yeah.
like lunging for that paper. I'm getting it before him.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
as
he's
you look
so
at
tired
it,
that he's an even here.
as you look at it, it looks like a blank piece of paper.
I'm just gonna like stare at it in confusion. I'm not gonna say a thing. I'm just gonna stare at it. Like, hold it up to the light, shake it, look down.
Devian's like reaching over and poking you.
Hey.
She's just gonna like turn to him and hold the paper up and be like, "What? What is this?"
He just takes it out of your hand and he starts looking at it.
And as you're looking at it, you can clearly see that it reads, "Of course I knew of the side effects. And I know as much as I left you with about the others." And that's it.
He's just gonna keep staring at it in silence.
So this raven exploded and left you a piece of paper that is blank?
You guys can't see it. It's for my eyes only. That's why you can't see what it says.
That's dumb.
Vardrak pulls out the life drinker. He's like, "Is it from the Raven Queen?"
You said there's feathers and stuff around, right? Like
Oh
from
yeah,
your-
yeah. There's a whole mess of feathers around.
All right. If I like grab one of the feathers, can I see if it is? Like any-
You have no connection with the Raven Queen.
Hmm.
But the letter very directly answers a question that you asked Gajeel.
That I asked what?
Your jackal?
Oh,
Come on, it was only like 3 days ago. Come on.
right. I get lost with the fucking shitty connections. I asked a question about the life drinker. If the jackal knew about it being sentient, or if the other artifacts are sentient as well. He like looks over at Ukto, like on your request. This is a note addressing that, and he reads the note out back to them.
I don't even think Ukto's there. I think Ukto went to the temple.
Oh yeah, she's
Ucho's
at
in the
huh?
temple praying to Tiamat for the sweet release of the pain she is feeling in her hands as she painstakingly scrapes stupid leather off of every single goddamn scale in her armor. Like, yeah, no shit, I had to try to look like a badass. Yeah, I had to try to be like Tiamat and have multicolored scales. I'm sitting here, trying to potato peel armor.
And every now and again, like as you're peeling the leather off, like sparks shoot out, and you shoot out like a little flame, and you're like, what is this?
This is fine. This is fine. Continue scraping forever. There's gotta be an easier way.
See, I tell Vardrock and Vakto what the note says. I'm like dusting feathers off of the bed. Like the raven must have been some kind of joke. But it seems like the jackal is still doing fine if he can send messages. You must have dealt with the Necronomicon.
Well, we have no way of knowing, so we just have to hope for the best.
It does seem like a good sign.
Well, Vivian, when you're able, we're gonna need you to start teaching classes on how to hunt and forage.
Right. Vakta, I know that fancy armor you have now lets you see things and do all that better. Do you understand how you're doing it, or is it just coming to you?
It's just like while wearing this armor, I just feel more aware of my surroundings. I do have older armor that, like my last armor also like made me more aware of, things I can already do. But you might have interest if you want to know, like, things can't.
If you have stuff you're not using, yeah, I'll take a look at it. But I was asking about your new armor because I wanted to know if I start teaching some people, if you would be able to help explain what I'm trying to get across. I'm not that good with talking to people or groups. I feel like you would be better if you knew what I was talking about.
I don't speak good.
Bhakti just kind of looks like a little bit honored, but also like, yeah, I know I words good. People love me. So she's just, yeah, I can try. I mean, all it really does is help me be more aware and like, see, smell. Like it just enhances my senses a bit more is all. But I can try to explain and how to focus on something and hunt. I've never hunted before.
Well,
But we'll figure it out. I can try to help.
if I start teaching these people, maybe you may learn how to better use this heightened sense to your advantage too.
Yeah, sure. Like, I'm down for learning and trying to teach. Like, that's cool. That's also helps me get to know the people better. Win-win.
The queen of the people, right?
Yeah. Every time someone's like, "Yeah, you're queen," she's like, "Yeah." And she's like very like, "Uh-huh."
Well, Vivian, make sure that you stay out of sight until you're closer to 100%. I want everyone to always see you at your best, nice and strong.
Yeah, I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon.
So you've shed one level of exhaustion, so you can actually get out of bed now. But you're still in a pretty bad shape.
All right, in that case, I'm like, instead of laying down, I'm like sitting up against the wall while all this is going on. I feel vulnerable right now. I don't like this.
Vakta pulls out her old armor, the malachite studded armor, and just kind of like drapes it over him, like, there, people can stab you less.
Is Divian's jackal in the room somewhere?
No.
Yeah, Vardrak like looks around for it, and he goes over and opens the door, and like Asha like squeezes in. And she comes over and lays next to his bed. Like, there, she'll keep you safe.
I do like the presence of animals. And I guess is this considered an animal?
Damn, that's rude. Are you even
When I
an
see
animal,
Asha-
Asha? Are you even an animal?
When I see Asha, I think like demon.
Yeah.
She is Asha. That is what she is. Just, if you're speaking to her, just say it in Draconic, otherwise she won't understand you.
Right. I think I've done that a few times to try to convey something.
I'm pretty sure that she can just understand things. She like, looks at Asha and goes, right?
She's like looking at you, and she just kind of tilts her head to the side.
Fox just squints her eyes and just, you know what I mean.
Before you've made gestures to her, but she just kind of reads your body language, but she hasn't understood.
Fox is not good with animals. I have a +1 to animal handling only because of my something.
False
I don't
scabbard.
even know what my jeweled scabbard.
Yeah, you're false scabbard.
False scabbard.
You can also
Yep,
tell
there
that
it
she
is.
seems far more intelligent than any normal animal you've come across.
And Vardrak.
Also true.
And as you guys are talking, you just hear this commotion erupt. You hear a yell, followed by a lot of voices.
And Vardrak will immediately rush outside to see what's going on.
And as you rush into like the town center, you see that there's a large group of people towards the northeast edge of town. There's a lot of commotion coming from over there.
He's heading over there. Looking back to see if anyone else is joining.
I'll follow.
You see Devian's jackal following you too.
The hell did he come from?
You can summon it in an instant. It's not some 10-minute thing. So if I want, I can just be like, all right.
That's
go.
a roundabout way of saying, hey, I'm better than you.
Weird flex, but okay. Ukto, you would have definitely heard this as well.
I'm going to go outside. I'm gonna leave my armor in there though. Like, part way through trying to potato peel the leather. I'm just gonna leave it there and go out to see what's going on. And if I see Vardrock and Vaksha heading that way, I'm gonna join them.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I mean, as you look out and see, like, you're looking to the, towards the northeast, and you see, like, this large group, and as you turn the other way, you just see Vardrock, like, running full speed towards it.
Yeah, I'm going that way.
And as you guys get there, you see there's a large group of people that are surrounding this guy that is basically down on his hands and knees. And you see his shirt is entirely ripped, and he has a giant gash coming from the base of his neck, and it curves slightly down, like almost in a serpentine pattern, down the entire length of his back.
Yeesh.
Still alive?
He's still alive, barely. He seems like he's in shock, but you just hear him, and he's just going on. He's like, "From the mountain, a devil climbed from the mountain."
Vardrak's gonna like kneel down next to him, put his hands on his shoulder, and he's like, "Ukto, see what you can do. Like, tell me about this demon."
It was larger than a house. There was a large explosion. We were out in the mountains hunting goat. And then all this smoke and fire. And then this devil of a creature climbed from this pit with a sword in one hand and a whip in the other. And he killed everyone. Me and Yosef were the only two to make it, but he succumbed to his wounds before we got here.
This demon did this to you?
Yes.
If he's the size of a mountain, how did you... I don't see how you would have survived any attack from him.
I just ran. I watched him slaying my friends, and I just ran.
Did you see which way he was heading before you fled?
No. No, he was yelling in this language, this dark language that I didn't understand, and he was laughing as he struck down everyone.
You remember any of the words that he spoke?
No. He kept saying, Yamit Gorgon. And that's where we'll end it for the night.
Oh, dang. Super fast, Cliff. Kneel down next to him. It is by Tiamat's grace that you have survived, and it is by Tiamat's grace that you will live. Cure light wounds. Or cure wounds. That's what it is now. That's what it is now.
All right.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I was waiting.
No, you're good. You're good.
I was waiting. Being good, I was waiting.
No, you're perfect. So I would assume you did that, and then he had enough strength to tell his tale.
Okay. Well, I try to do a little thing when I cast the spells.
You did perfect.
And does that sound like any words in Infernal?
Yeah.
And they mean what?
Wait for next week. Gosh dang.
No.
Cliff is Captain Cliffhanger.
Well, yeah, it's kind of in the name.
Yeah. Perfect.
I'm from the Netflix generation now. I don't wait till that to be continued. I just go to the next episode.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
you don't have the luxury of that. Just remember, Yemit Gorgon.
Yep, it's in the notes.
And with that, I want to thank everybody who stopped in here and hung out with us tonight. Thank you to Fantasy Grounds College for the 500 bits that, again, I don't think that they actually used.
They spend any this time?
They did.
No, they did their
They
cliff
gave me the
coins.
thing where, do more damage.
Well, yeah, they used their cliff coins, but they didn't actually use their bits. They could have done a Wild Magic Surge, bought a player point, gave a nat 20 or a nat 1, but they didn't. They didn't do any of that. Thanks to Get This Off for the 500 bits, and they did use it. Thanks to Melissa for renewing for the 8th month in a row. Thank you. And thanks, as always, to the players. Sin, I feel bad about you not really getting to do much this time.
I'm glad I didn't die.
We're all glad he didn't die.
Yeah.
We'll try to get you some more game time in here as long as you don't go on any more suicide missions. And what's that?
Easier said than done.
Well, yeah, I mean, you guys are hanging
It's my
out
role.
This group doesn't do suicide missions. Thank you very much.
with. Yeah.
And
We
know
do
exactly
high
what-
risk missions. Thing.
Oh, is that what they're going by on the streets nowadays?
Yeah.
I guess news to me.
So yeah. So thanks as always to my lovely players. You guys are awesome.
And thank you, sir.
My pleasure. So anybody who doesn't know, we do this every Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific Time. So if you like Dungeons & Dragons, make sure you follow and stop back by next Thursday for the continuation of this. If you care about gaming and all that stuff, I also do gaming Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. Wednesdays are usually my off days. Also at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. So come hang out. And one thing that I do like to do at the end of every one of my sessions is to raid out. And that's basically just taking our love in everybody that's here and dropping them into someone else's channel. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Thank you guys again so much for hanging out. Yeah. And until next time, bye.
Bye.